you're going to cry about offside. Sorry, you shouldn't have even been playing at that point. No. Turns
Back here at Spillane Field for another day of baseball. Welcome in to the Gatemen pregame show brought to you by Cranberry Federal Credit Union. That's Joe Henry. I'm Adam Hipsky, getting you set with everything you need to know ahead of tonight's matchup between Wareham and Cotuit. Going at it for the second time this season, Joe. It's been a while, but it hasn't been a while since Wareham had a home and home. They took on Bourne, split the pair yesterday, a come-from-behind effort, and the Braves walked it off at the end.
Yeah, some encouraging signs the past 2 days, but also some old habits rearing their head. But today's a great chance to put some of that to bed and maybe officially turn the page on this season. We're just a game away from the midpoint, and if you look at the standings, believe it or not, the Gatemen are just one win behind Cotuit in the win-loss column, and just 4 points total. That's 2 games. So if they win today, win tomorrow, and Cotuit loses tomorrow, rather after the off day, they're tied for that final playoff spot, and at that point, the regular season doesn't really matter. You just got to get in. So this is probably the most important game of the season so far between the two teams in the bottom of the West Division.
Yeah, still in the first half, but yes, a game that there's certainly a little bit on the line. For Wareham yesterday, it never trailed until the bottom of the ninth inning when Bourne walked him off. And that was in large part due to one batter in, and the Gatemen had a 1-0 lead. RJ Hamilton with a solo home run. And now our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel, is with him now.
Thanks, guys. Here with RJ Hamilton of the Gatemen. RJ, last couple days you've been feeling it. You had a homer at Fenway right at the Green Monster. You had a leadoff homer against Bourne yesterday. What's been working for you?
Just trying to do my job. I think, as the summer's been progressing, I feel like I've gotten a better feel for my swing and making adjustments that I need to make me more consistent in the summer and in this league. So I just say that, just getting back to playing my game and just having fun out here and just going in attack. So.
You mentioned adjustments on your swing. What does that look like for you?
I think it's a couple of things. Just being able to kind of make hard contact and be able to stay through a ball longer. Because I feel like when I'm going, I feel like when I'm going good, I feel like I'm able to stay through a ball as long as possible. Used to all parts of the field. I feel like when I wasn't doing so well, I feel like I was kind of breaking my wrist and kind of rolling over. So just being able to just use the middle part of the field and backside has helped me a lot.
Well, beyond what you're doing at the plate, you are an aggressive base runner. You told me that your base running is electric. You lead in runs and stolen bases. Where does that level of aggressiveness come from for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's just knowing myself, knowing my game, the player that I am. My job is to get on base and create havoc and create runs for our offense. So just my ability to get on base, whether that's laying the bunt down, getting an infield hit, or, hitting something in the gap, just to get on base to create havoc. Because when I'm on base, that gives Tony Lear or, our four-hole hitter an extra fastball to hit so they can drive me in. So just doing my job and be able to get on base is something I pride myself in.
Well, we'll see how you do today. Wishing you the best, guys. Back to you.
Thanks so much, CeCe. RJ and Wareham trying to give its pitching some run support. They did so for the first portion of the game yesterday. Fell off late. 5 straight innings without a hit, Joe. But for the pitching side, it's a guy that's mostly come out of the pen for the Gatemen. Ethan Baiotto gets his first start of the summer today.
It's a guy who's mostly come out of the pen in his college days as well with Tennessee. Only made 2 starts this season. Hasn't made a start yet for the Gatemen this year, but don't get it twisted. He's been fantastic. Maybe the team's best arm aside from perhaps Garrett Lambert. I mean, .77 ERA that leads the team. .77 whip as well in 11-plus innings. Has yet to walk a man and has given up just 1 earned run. He's been fantastic, and the righties going up against a Cotuit lineup that has struggled against right-handed pitchers, but a lineup that's been very hot of late despite the losing streak for the Kettleers.
Yeah, we've talked about what's on the line tonight. 2 teams fighting for that final playoff positioning. They told us to keep our heads up. We were ready for it. These 2 teams, Joe, to get back on track, they're trying to get back in the win column and get that 4th and final spot. What do the Gatemen need to do to recover after a tough one yesterday?
I look at the walks column. Of course, if you want to talk about yesterday, it's about trying to finish out games, something the Gatemen have struggled to do on the road. Well, they're a lot better at home, 4-5 versus 0-9. So that's encouraging. I think about the walks column because Cotuit walks more batters than anybody, but Wareham has taken less walks than anybody, and something the Gatemen could have really used when their bats went cold yesterday against Bourne. How about a walk? They didn't have a base runner for the last 5 innings of the game. I look for the Gatemen hitters to stay patient, and now since they've added so many lefties into the order going against right-handed pitching, hopefully it will be a little bit of a different story. If the Gatemen get deep in counts, I have faith that their offense can pick it up today. Wareham
and Cotuit right around the corner. Gatemen and Kettleers for the 2nd time this summer and the 1st time at Spillane Field. That does it. He's Joe Henry. I'm Adam Hipsky. First pitch coming up right after this.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Down with you alongside Adam Hipsky up here in the booth. We'll have the call for you tonight. These 2 teams have been trending in the wrong direction as of late. Wareham losers of 5 of their last 6, and Cotuit on a 5-game losing streak. Both these teams looking for a pick-me-up here tonight.
Yeah, and there's a lot on the line, Dan. It's still in the first half of this summer, but we're starting to get into where this season becomes more of a sprint than a marathon, and two teams fighting for playoff positioning with about 25 games to go.
Certainly a big one, and for Wareham, coming off of 2 games against Bourne, one which they won here at home. That was the first of the 2-game set. That was a 7-5 victory, and then the second being a 4-3 loss yesterday in the bottom half of the 9th, giving up 2 runs. Now, Adam, we talk about that game and that loss, but R.J. Hamilton set the tone early for Wareham in that game, started off with a bang leadoff home run.
Yeah, he did, and it's a Wareham offense where in the first portion of this season, its most fatal weakness was a slow start offensively, and R.J. Hamilton gave the Gatemen a spark. One batter in, it was 1-0 Wareham.
And then the Gatemen tagged on 2 in that top half of the 3rd to lead things 3-0 before Bourne scored 4 unanswered for the win. On the other side of things, we take a look at Landon Beaver. He's in the 2-hole tonight for Cotuit. The right fielder has been swinging a hot bat lately.
Yes, he has. Top 5 on the Cape in batting average. He's been spectacular, Dan. A second-team All-American Conference selection from UAB, and it's a guy that it's an easy selection to throw him in the lineup. Batting second today, and it's a Kettleers offense that is looking for that pick-me-up, a team that is starting to sputter as of late, but not because of this guy. Landon Beaver's been great for Cotuit. Expect that to continue here this evening.
Going against an arm for Wareham that has not started a ball game yet this season, that being Ethan Baiotto. All of his appearances so far this summer have been out of the pen.
And what he's done at an exceptional rate, Dan, is command the zone. No walks, 10 strikeouts across 11 2/3. He's been great. There's a reason why he's being thrown into this role. It's a Wareham team that has tried to figure out its starting pitching at the start of the season. Maybe didn't have the guys that you wanted in the rotation. Connor Mohan, we saw him go from a starter to a reliever. Now they're trying to flip it with Ethan Baiotto going from a reliever role into a starting. We'll see. He's done some decent extension throughout the summer. He's gone 4 innings once and 3 innings twice. So his last time that he took the mound, it was 4 innings. I expect something similar today as long as he has similar success to what he's had this summer.
And the starting pitching recently for Wareham really has held up. Jordan Stevens set the tone last night with 4 innings of 1-hit ball with no runs across. You go back, Wade Walden had 4 innings clean before he let up a few runs. And then Mark Brissy himself, 3 2/3 with an earned run. And Peyton Lee, 5 innings flat of no-run ball. It's been really good starts. The Wareham offense hasn't been fully able to capitalize on it.
No, and yesterday we saw it. After the 4th inning, no base runners, and it's hard to win games. The Gatemen were still just 1 out away before a late surge from Bourne. Nonetheless, the starting pitching has really picked itself up as of late, and I think that's big if this team wants to start turning some of these losses into wins down the stretch.
Cotuit trying to do the same thing. Here is the lineup. It's Dawson Park to lead things off, then Landon Beaver, Hunter Warren, batting third. You'll see all 3 of them in this inning as the first pitch from Baiotto is grounded over to the third base side and foul. Finishing out the starting 9 for Cotuit, it will be Jake Hanley, the first baseman. Then Will Plattner, who did play yesterday, went 1 for 2, bumped up from the 8-hole. After that, it's Ryan Taransky, Jesse DiMaggio in there for the first time in a couple of games, J.J. Moran, and Chase Coburg, as this ball is put in play down the left field line, but it goes foul. No balls and 2 strikes. A Cotuit lineup that has a .226 batting average on the season. That ranks 9th in the Cape League. They've had the same type of struggles as Wareham.
Yeah, they have, but this top of the order has really produced for the Kettleers. It's just trying to capitalize on the situations that ultimately decide ball games. Situational hitting is big, and it's really been a struggle for Cotuit in that department.
Baiotto going against the shortstop, Dawson Park, who was 1 for 4 yesterday in that loss against Falmouth. Cracks the 1-2 pitch out into center field. Hamilton going back, chasing it, dives, and the ball falls in front of him. Hitting second and going over to third is Park. He will be in there without a throw. What a way to start off the game. A leadoff triple for Dawson Park and the Kettleers.
First triple of the summer for the second baseman out of Texas State. And R.J. Hamilton, you see right here, goes back on it. He's in a dead sprint. I didn't love the leaping effort. Obviously, you're not out there, but that leap probably changes that play from a double to a single, you would imagine. So Hamilton rolled the dice, and Cotuit with a very hot start out of the gates.
The Gatemen now the only team in the Cape League without a triple this season after Park gets it started. So Landon Beaver at the plate with an early runner into scoring position. Baiotto ready and comes home. First pitch smacked over to the left side, and it goes just foul. That would have brought in Park and definitely had extra bases written all over it for Beaver, who has been one of the best in this Cotuit lineup. Sports a .310 batting average on the season. Did not play yesterday in the second game of a 2-game set against Falmouth, but the day before went 2 for 5 and started the game off with a 2-run home run. So plenty of pop in that bat, and he was ready to swing on that first pitch.
It was, and guys are ready to attack Ethan Baiotto. Getting that first start, such a difference maker for a guy being a reliever into a starting role. Your entire routine changes. You know when you're pitching. You've got all day to prepare.
0-1, misses down in the dirt.
But for Baiotto, he's had success, so it's something interesting to kind of monitor is what role is he more comfortable with? And not a great start giving up the leadoff triple to Dawson Park. But now how do you respond? As a reliever, he's come into some innings where he didn't get a clean frame.
1-1. Slow roller over to Cuff. Coming home on the play is Park over to first. On the throw from Cuff, it's in time. But that is an RBI ground out for Landon Beaver. He does his job and gives Cotuit a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the first.
And Park waited a while to take off for home, too. Kind of surprising. It would have been a tough play for Cuff, and I understand you want to get the out with nobody gone in the first inning while you go to first, but it wasn't guaranteed that Dawson Park was scoring on that. But Cuff never really looked home, just went on to first.
So now Hunter Warren, the second baseman, at the plate. 2 batters up, 1 run across for Cotuit in this ball game. First pitch, fouled out of play. We saw some of the defense at work. Here it is for Wareham. It'll be Cohen Nicolai behind the plate today. Cade Elam at third, Cuff over at short for the first time this season. Then Nowitzki over at second, Lyra at first. Left to right in the outfield, it's Sheffield, Hamilton, and Wax. A brand new left to right infield than last night for Wareham. 0-1. Misses inside. It was Carter Groen, Dylan Dubovic, and Foster Apple out there yesterday. Hamilton was at second base. He shifts into the outfield. And the only repeats from yesterday is Elam at third and Lyra at first. He came in as a defensive replacement late in the game. The 1-1 misses high and away from Ethan Baiotto, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Baiotto looking to respond after allowing the early run on the leadoff triple. 2-1 pitch put out of play on the first base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Baiotto to go against Hunter Warren, who has been so magnificent for these Kettleers. A .381 hitter so far this season through 12 games. He has really been on fire, was 3 for 4 in that first game against Falmouth 2 days ago. 2-2. Popped up into shallow right field. Wax moves over, camps under it, and makes the play for the second out here in the top half of the first.
Good couple of at-bats from Ethan Baiotto after giving up the leadoff triple to Dawson Park. Maybe a little bit of frustration now seeing how he's responded with the ground out and a shallow fly out. If that first at-bat from Park ended up being 2 bases instead of 3, could still be a scoreless game.
First pitch here to the cleanup hitter, Jake Hanley, misses outside. 4-1. That top 3 really tough gets for any pitcher so far this season. Hanley, a .220 hitter, so a little bit of an easier challenge here as the 1-0 is grounded over to Lyra, tails foul. 1 ball and 1 strike for Baiotto. It is a 4-pitch mix, sinker, slider, fastball, and the changeup, but primarily uses the sinker at 67%. Slider follows up at 23. Grabs the ball, comes set, and fires. He misses down low. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. This is a big matchup for both sides here on July 5th. Cotuit 5-11-2 on the season. Wareham 4-14. Both racing for that final playoff spot in the West as the 2-1 is out and away. 3 balls and 1 strike against Hanley, who did not play yesterday. The 6'6 junior out of Indiana last played against Falmouth in the first game, went 0 for 4. It's a high chopper over to Nowitzki at second. He gloves and throws to first in time. So Baiotto lets up 1 run here in the top half of the first off the leadoff triple from Dawson Park. Wareham coming to swing it with Jason Wax, RJ Hamilton, and Nate Nowitzki here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the first here in Wareham. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky with Cotuit leading things 1-0. You see Grady Bivens starting to get going out there on the bump. The 6'3", 200-pounder that most recently committed to Mississippi State.
Yeah, and he earned that promotion. Dan pitched 72 2/3 at Eckerd College this past spring. Had the most innings of his career in college baseball, and he was a full-time starter for the Tritons. Now trying to do something similar for Cotuit today, and he's pitching with run support. A 5-pitch mix, fastball, sinker, cutter, sweeper, changeup, and a curveball, 6 pitches for the right-hander.
It's a lot, but he leads with the slider against righties and the fastball against lefties. We'll look to attack with that four-seamer here against the left-handed hitter Jason Wax to start off this ball game. Bivens ready and fires his first pitch. It misses down in the dirt for ball 1. This a Wareham offense that struggled last night after the first 3 innings, put up 3 runs in those first 3, and then did not get a base runner the rest of the way. You see the lineup that Ryan Smythe trots out to try and break that. Wax, Hamilton, and Nowitzki as the 1-0, misses down low. Then it's the DH Levi Clark, who has 3 straight games with a hit. Connor Cuff in there for the second time this season, had a home run in his debut 2 days ago. Then it's Cade Elam, Cohen DeCly in there for the first time since that Orleans loss 3 games ago. Tony Lira and Noah Sheffield for just the 3rd time this season. 2-0 is a sky-high pop-up on the infield. Dawson Park moves under it, and he makes the play. Park making the play over at short. Here's what the defense looks like tonight for Cotuit. It's Will Plattner behind the plate, who does not have a stolen base caught stealing yet this season, something to monitor if Wareham is to get a base runner. Then it's J.J. Moran at third, Dawson Park at short, Hunter Warren. Then it's Jake Hanley left to right in the outfield. Ryan Taransky, Chase Kroberg, and then it is Landon Beaver. This defense pretty clean outside of Moran at the hot corner, who has 5 errors so far this season. Bivens gets ready against R.J. Hamilton. First pitch in there for strike one. Hamilton started the game off with a bang, like we mentioned already earlier in our broadcast. That was yesterday at Bourne. Started off with a solo home run, and that was his first of the season. The 0-1 poked into left field, and it drops. A one-out single for R.J. Hamilton. Seems like he's starting to like hitting in the first inning, and Wareham has its first base runner.
Absolutely, and yesterday was batting leadoff. It was against a left-handed starter. Jason Wax has been primarily the leadoff man for the Gatemen, but yesterday the lefty he was not slotted in by Ryan Smythe, which makes sense, left on left. But Hamilton down to 2, doesn't matter. He still has a really nice piece of hitting, pulls it over the third baseman's head in a base knock.
Nate Nowitzki at the plate. Hamilton going on the first pitch. It's a ball. Here's the throw down. It's way outside, and to the point where Park had to jump over Hamilton to glove it. We talked about Will Plattner has not caught a runner yet this season. 0 for 6, now 0 for 7, and Hamilton moves a runner into scoring position quickly.
A really nice jump from R.J. Hamilton, 5th stolen base of the summer. And now Wareham threatening.
1-0 count to Nowitzki. The pitch finds the zone for strike one. Nowitzki with 2 RBIs so far this season. It's taken him a little bit while to get going and is still somewhat finding his footing, but is up to a .238 batting average on the season for Wareham. His first RBI came 2 games ago against Brewster. The 1-1 catches the top part of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes against the second baseman tonight for the Gatemen. The redshirt sophomore out of Arizona looking to tie up this ball game at 1, and Bivens looking to put 2 outs on the board. Takes a big sigh, gives a look over at Hamilton, who hops off of second, goes over to third. The ball was smacked over to the left side. Foul. Wareham had the hit and run in order there, but Nowitzki pulled the ball foul.
Yeah, and Hamilton, another really good jump. Bivens hasn't altered his timing a ton. We'll see what he does now after R.J. Hamilton showed that he's certainly interested in taking third. But Hamilton timing him up well, and that time had a really good jump.
A 1-2 count. Hamilton at second. Stays put this time. The 1-2 was clobbered over to the right side, but it's out of play. Back-to-back swings for Nate Nowitzki, where he's put good wood on the ball, but hasn't been able to straighten it out. Looks to do so here against Bivens. Looks in, gets the sign. Hamilton hopping off of second. He goes over. The pitch is grounded over to first base. Hanley Smothers steps on the bag. Hamilton over to third on the play. So with 2 outs, the tying run in this game just 90 feet away for Wareham.
Yeah, Nowitzki had kind of squared up on 2 of them, just couldn't straighten them out. That time gets it to the right side of the infield, an easy advancement for R.J. Hamilton, and now it's on Levi Clark to try and extend this inning and tie the game.
Clark, a guy that Wareham certainly wants up in this position, has been hitting the ball well as of late. 3 straight games for him where he has had a hit, looking to extend that. First pitch runs inside for ball 1. And Clark having an RBI against Brewster on the 1st of July. That was in a 5-3 defeat for the Gatemen. Here's the 1-0. And misses high and away. Bivens not the hardest thrower. His fastest pitch, the sinker and the fastball, tops out at about 93, but he does a great job of mixing in the secondaries of slider and changeup to really fool hitters. Finds himself behind here in a 2-ball, no-strike count and pulls the pitch outside. 3-0 to Levi Clark, probably a guy that's not even worth pitching to at this point. Connor Cuff waits on deck for Wareham if Clark is to reach. He was 3 for 4 with a home run in his debut against Bourne 2 days ago. Bivens takes a look over at Hamilton, the 3-0. Down the middle for strike one.
They've got to battle back here if you're Grady Bivens. And Levi Clark in a hitter's advantage right here. I think Wareham's early offense comes from a lack of aggression out of the gates. Takes them 3-4 innings. Right here's a chance where Clark can prove otherwise.
3-1 offering. Looped out of play on the first base side, and the count goes full. Clark hits the bat against the dirt after that. He was up 3-0 in this count. Now has to protect, trying to bring in R.J. Hamilton and tie up this ball game at 1 here in the bottom half of the first. Bivens ready. The payoff. Slap to the right side and down. Coming in to score is Hamilton. Clark stops at first. It's a 2-out RBI single for the man from Tennessee, and the ball game is tied at 1.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting if you're Levi Clark, the DH today, and just pokes it right side. And he's gotten the chance with a couple of days off defensively to focus on his approach and got down to 2 strikes, shortened up his swing a bit, but did enough. And R.J. Hamilton over there on third, that's an easy play for him. And the Gatemen now tied things up 1-1. Back-to-back games where Wareham has scored in the first.
That was Clark's 4th RBI of the season. Now Connor Cuff hits a high chopper on the first pitch to Warren. Gloves throws to first. And that's how the first frame ends here at Spillane Field. These two teams trade a pair of runs. We head to the second, tied at 1 here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Second inning here in Wareham with Cotuit and the Gatemen tied at 1. We take a look at the past couple of days for the Gatemen. Took the first one here at home, but dropped the second back at Doran Park yesterday.
And probably after Wareham's most complete showing of the summer on July 3rd, followed it up with one of its most disappointing on the 4th. Had the lead heading into the 9th, and just wasn't great, Dan. That 9th inning, one that the Gatemen certainly would like to forget rather quickly.
5-6-7 for the Kettleers here in the second, starting with Will Plattner, who takes a first pitch ball at the top of the zone. Plattner did appear yesterday, came into the game as a pinch hitter for Seo John-O, went 1 for 2 with a walk. The 1-0 tails in. 2 balls and no strikes. Ethan Baiotto led up a leadoff triple to Dawson Park in the first. Landon Beaver knocked him home with the RBI groundout. That's how Cotuit got its first run of the game. Baiotto struggling with some control here in the top half of the second. The count's 3-0. Parker just 4 walks so far on the season. slashing a .333 mark over 5 games. Looks at the 3-0 there. It's called for a strike.
Yeah, and this is what Ethan Baiotto has to do, is battle back into counts, because what he's done really well is hasn't given up the walk.
3-1, high and away. Nearly clipped Plattner. You mentioned not giving up the walk. He issues his first of the game right there.
Yeah, and first of the season, too, so nothing really too much to be concerned about. Obviously, you don't want to do it on 5 pitches. But settle down, gave up that leadoff triple rather, in the first inning, and then responded with 3 straight outs, 2 ground outs that were softly hit, and a fly out. So settle down, trust your stuff, try and work around it.
And the fact that that was just Baiotto's first walk of the season shows you how well he's been pitching. Ryan Taransky, the left fielder, at the plate with 1 on. First pitch in there, bottom of the zone, strike 1. Taransky has had a slow start to this season. He is batting at an .063 mark, trying to find it, and that through 16 games. Has just 2 hits on 48 plate appearances. It's a high chopper this time to Nowitzki. That's tailor-made for 2. On to first, in time. A nice 4-6-3 double play, and there's 2 down here in the top half of the second.
Yeah, great job by Nowitzki. Cuff hustles over to the bag at second to make sure they can turn 2. And Taransky was trying to stop it. He hustled out of the box. He knew there was a chance that he could beat it out, but you needed a picture-perfect turn for Wareham defensively, and they did just that.
So with 2 outs, here's Jesse DiMaggio, the DH. Stares at strike 1 from Baiotto. So nothing comes of the leadoff walk issued to Will Plattner. DiMaggio has also been having not his best start to the season. 10 games, a .206 batting average. Pops the 0-1 out of play. And quickly, Baiotto has a chance to get out of the second with his first 0 here in an 0-2 count.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Giving up the walk is a lot different than giving up a leadoff triple. And just like in the first inning, after that first base runner of the frame.
0-2, swing and a miss. Down in the bottom of the zone from DiMaggio to end off the inning. So Baiotto does a great job of working around the leadoff walk. No runs, no hits, no errors with nobody left on base. We head to the bottom half of the second, tied at 1 here at Spillane Field on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Bottom half of the second here at Spillane Field between Wareham and Cotuit. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky in a 1-1 ball game. You see this being an opening day rematch. Wareham dropping the game 5-0 at Lowell Park, but this the first meeting since then and a pivotal one. Both teams battling for the playoffs. Cade Elam in the box to start off things here in the bottom half with the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming to the plate for Wareham in this inning.
And you saw it right there, the Gatemen with that 5-0 loss on opening day to the Kettleers. That scoreline doesn't tell the full story at all. It was a very pitcher-dominated game where Cotuit had a 1-0 lead all the way until the 8th inning. And it was some errors in the field that came back and were extremely costly for the Gatemen. But it was a much different Wareham team, just like it's a much different Cotuit team today.
Wareham had 4 errors in that game. 1-1 misses down in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike against Elam, who really has been finding his swing lately. He has 4 RBIs over the last 2 games. And, of course, both those games he had hits in. Trying to start off with a bang here. 2-1 is nubbed over to the second baseman, Warren. Charged, throws to first. Makes it there for the first out here in the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, Kate Elam's been seeing the ball very well lately. That time just barely gets a piece of it. And nice job by Bivens to start off the second inning, kind of similar to how we got the first going. And it was after where Wareham started to have success.
And now Cohen Nicolai at the plate, the first time that he has played since committing to Oregon State out of the transfer portal. First pitch from Bivens. Broken bat. That got a piece of Bivens. Slow roller over to the shortstop Park. He throws to first and makes the play. But Bivens a little bit shaken up on the play as the bat blasted off the hands of Nicolai.
Yeah, Dawson Park did a really nice job not letting that phase him. As you see, the broken bat comes through, kicks up off the mound, and does get a piece of his foot. But Park, unfazed, read it all the way, came in, charged, threw to first, and it was a great throw to retire Nicolai.
Bivens okay after the play. He's gotten back-to-back outs in this inning off back-to-back groundouts, and that one with a little bit of wood in his face, but he doesn't care. Now it'll be Tony Lira, the first baseman, went 0 for 2 yesterday, or 2 days ago, against Bourne. Had a walk and a strikeout in that one as well. First pitch misses on the outer half of the plate. Lira has been in this lineup a plethora of times this season for Ryan Smythe. 16 games in total so far this year, and that leads the Gatemen. 1-0. Catches the bottom part. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lira had hits in back-to-back games before that first Bourne game. Lost that streak. Looking to get back on the right foot here. 1-1 from Bivens. On a called strike. Misses bottom part of the zone. Mike Griffin behind the dish tonight. Jake Brickta over there at first. And Mike Hinojosa at third. 2-1. Poked into right field. Teetering on the fair foul line. It goes foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it would have been trouble, but just continued to dance and trail to the right of the line. Could have been extra bases for Tony Lira. But instead, takes the walk back to batter's box.
And Bivens has done a nice job of settling in. He's retired 3 in a row, stemming from the first inning after he allowed the RBI single to Levi Clark, which tied up this game at 1. Looking to post a 0 here in a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Winds and fires. Pulls the slider way outside, and the count goes full. It's a pitch that Bivens really likes to throw against these righties at a 45% clip, and that leads among his pitch mix against right-handed batters. Here's the payoff. Just misses on the outside part of the plate. Mike Griffin had the best look at it, and Lira works the free pass. First walk of the game issued by Bivens.
Yeah, and I go back to 2 pitches prior for Tony Lira protecting in a 2-strike count. Ended up getting a pretty good piece of it when it was the fly ball deep to right, but that's a pitch right there where if you look at it or you don't take as good of a swing, you could be down on strikes right there, and instead Wareham, the 1-out base runner.
Noah Sheffield at the plate. Grounds the first pitch into play. Latner throws down to first on a hop. And that's an out. A funky play to end off things here in the bottom half of the second. The umpires putting their hands up. Ryan Smythe out of the dugout. He wants to dispute this as it was a matter of Was the ball in play? Did it hit anything? Sheffield did not think it did, but Plattner fielded and threw to first.
Yeah, it was bizarre. It definitely was, and it's kind of tough. Our view a bit shielded. You saw it right there on the replay. Just died right there on the plate. I would not be surprised if Noah Sheffield sees another pitch.
The call on the field was out. We take another look at it. Looks like it hit right off the plate, and everyone didn't have their eye on it. No one really knew where it was outside of Bivens, but Sheffield, Plattner, and Griffin were all looking up in the air. They thought it was popped out of play before Plattner fired over to first base.
I'll give Mike Griffin credit.
And they hold up the call.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So Mike Griffin and the umpiring crew decide that that is an out. Ryan Smythe not happy about it there on the third base line, but still goes down as an out. Nothing comes of the two-out walk issued to Tony Lira. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. After 2 innings here in Wareham, we're tied up at 1 here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
July 4th yesterday around the Cape, as we're with you here on July 5th between Cotuit and Wareham. We'll look at some scores around the Cape on America's 250th. The one that stands out to me the most, Hyannis taking down YD.
Yeah, and it's a Hard Rocks team that struggled a little bit late, but listen, if you commit 6 errors in the field like the Red Sox did, you're not going to win a ton of games. And so YD, with far and away its worst showing, just its second loss, the only other one came to Cotuit.
And the Red Sox currently up 3-1 in the bottom half of the 8th. See if they can pull that one out and earn a 16th win on the season. It'll be the 8-9-1 hitters for Cotuit here in the top half of the 3rd. Still going against the starter, Ethan Baiotto. Comes set and fires the first pitch. Popped up out of play on the first base side. Going against J.J. Moran, the third baseman. Then it'll be Chase Kroberg. And then back to the top of the order with Dawson Park, who had the triple and came around to score. Made it 1-0 at the time in favor of Cotuit. No ball, 1 strike count for Baiotto here against Moran. The pitch misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grady Bivens, who's in the portal as of right now, did a nice job of getting out of the bottom half of the 2nd. Got around the 2-out walk that he issued, and Baiotto issued a walk to start off the 2nd. Worked around that thanks to a double play from his defense. 1-1 high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's induced a ton of soft contact. It was just the leadoff walk in the 2nd inning and the triple in the 1st inning, but didn't get a ton of help from his defense with RJ Hamilton in the 1st. Did get that help in the 2nd, though, on the 4-6-3 double play.
And that was a nice one turned by this defense, who has done a solid job in the field as of late and trying to back up Ethan Baiotto as much as possible. 3-1 popped out of play, and the count goes full here against Moran. The 233 hitter on the season, this over 13 games. Did play yesterday, went 0 for 4. Came around, though, with a run scored, and, of course, Falmouth taking down Cotuit over the last 2 games. These Kettleers on a 5-game losing streak heading into this one. Payoff. Cue balled over to Lira at first. He picks it up, steps on the bag, for the first out.
Yeah, close to a foul ball there, but Lehrer maintains concentration, and that's what Ethan Baiotto's done. Outside of that one batter with the triple, he's been really good at getting soft contact after soft contact, and Moran no different. One gone in the third.
So now the 9-hole hitter, Chase Kroberger, at the plate. He's out in center field tonight. This just his 4th game of the season for Cotuit. Squares to bunt, pops it up, and Baiotto fields it himself. Helps himself out, and there's quickly 2 down here in the top half of the third.
I think collectively, Wareham pitchers this summer have been really good fielding the ball off the mound. But that's another good one from Baiotto as a guy that has to climb down the hill, make the play on the move, an instant reaction, and now 2 gone.
Baiotto working quickly, but now faces the top of the order and Dawson Park, the man who hit the triple off of him to start off this game. First pitch looped into shallow right field. Wax coming on. That ball drops. It's a 2-out single for Dawson Park, and both hits in this ball game for Cotuit have come off the bat of the leadoff man.
Yeah, and Dawson Park's doing a really good job, and it wasn't quite the same after his first at-bat, took it to deep center and made R.J. Hamilton work for it all the way back on the track, but it still does enough. And with 2 outs, any base runner matters, and now a chance to try and bring him home.
Gives Landon Beaver a shot. The right fielder grounded out over to the shortstop Cuff back in the first. It did bring home Park, though. First pitch is high and away, 4-1. Cotuit had a base runner last inning, but this is the first one here in the third, and trying to capitalize on it, keep the line moving against Baiotto. 1-0, fly ball into center field. Hamilton goes back, moves a couple of steps to his right, and makes the play. Another nice job of Ethan Baiotto, not allowing anything to happen after the 2-out single. After 2.5 here at Spillane Field, it's Cotuit and Wareham tied at 1 here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom half of the third here in Wareham between the Kettleers and the Gatemen. This game tied up at 1, both teams scoring in the first. Yesterday at Bourne for Wareham, it was a nice start. Led the game 3-0 after 3 innings, but it all fell apart in the 9th.
Yeah, and you see it right there. It doesn't get much worse than that. 0 for 9 on the road this season. The Gatemen just continue to struggle away from the confines of Spillane Field, trying to get one back. They have an off day tomorrow, but then can do so at Chatham on the 7th. But regardless of home field advantage, this and that, you certainly don't want to go 0-9 to start your summer.
Not at all. Jason Wax, the leadoff man at the plate, takes a ball upstairs. Grady Bivens back out there for his third inning of work. 1-0 finds the zone for strike one. And Wareham 4-5 at home. So far this season, a win here tonight could get them to 500 at Spillane. But you mentioned the 0-9 record. Certainly not going to help you when you have had trouble finding success away from home. The 1-1 misses down low, and Bivens, a guy who pitched a lot of innings this past season at Eckerd College, 72 2/3, very used to the starter role, still searching for a new home right now in the transfer portal, going against Jason Wax, a man who entered the transfer portal and found a new home in LSU. The 2-1 bounced in the dirt. Plattner picks it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Wax had to struggle to start off this season in a little bit of a slump right now. He's 1 for his last 16. That includes his pop-out to the shortstop tonight. But he does have 4 walks over the last 2 games, so still seeing the ball relatively well. 3-1. Another ball that's spiked, and it's a leadoff walk issue by Grady Bivens.
And for Jason Wax, a guy that you just said, Dan, hasn't seen the ball very well lately. Getting on the base paths and seeing some pitches from Bivens can do a lot going forward. So even though it's not a hit, it's a base runner, and a leadoff base runner at that. And Wareham, it's the first time today they've gotten the leadoff man on.
It'll be R.J. Hamilton, who has 1 of 2 hits in this game. He came around to score to tie up this game at 1 in the bottom half of the first, with Wax over at first base. Bivens readies and fires. Misses high and away for ball 1. Hamilton got the single, stole second base off of Plattner, moved over to third on a ground out from Nate Nowitzki, brought in by Levi Clark. Wax a little bit of a speed threat, 4 for 6 on stolen bags this season. And for that reason, Grady Bivens takes a look over at first.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge lead, but Wax has to be careful. Started swaying back and forth. You don't want Bivens to time it up when your weight is shifted towards second and then getting picked off. That's how, if you're leaning one way a little too hard, that's how you can get a base runner eliminated rather quickly.
1-0. Chopped off the foot of Hamilton. He skimpers around after it hits him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hamilton has really been swinging a nice bat as of late for Wareham. Obviously, he had the RBI last night against Bourne to start off the game, as he's just making sure that he's okay, flexing that foot. But even before that, he had been on fire. The hit yesterday gave him a 6-game hit streak, and then a base knock today bumps that up to 7. And it makes sense why Ryan Smythe has been stacking him in the top of the order.
Yeah, he looks really good. And when you have that blend of speed and finally started to show the power yesterday, it's big for R.J. Hamilton. And nobody hit the ball as well as they would have liked in the first handful, 6-8 games of this season. Hamilton was one of them, but since then, he's kind of shown what he's capable of.
1-1 pitch. Big cut and a miss from Hamilton. And he was a guy with a lot of power this past season at Duke. Had 21 extra base hits over the course of the season. Just has 2 so far this summer, but that power starting to show after the home run last night. Had 7 bombs with the Blue Devils this past season. 1-2. Called strike 3. Snap throw down to first to check on Wax. He's back in time, but Hamilton down looking on the first strikeout of the evening for Bivens.
That's now 4 strikeouts in the last 3 games for R.J. Hamilton. Not what you want to see for a guy at the top of your order to go down on strikes. Usually, you look at those swing and miss guys more in the middle towards the bottom of the order. So Hamilton, right there on a 2-strike count, just got frozen.
Now it'll be Nate Nowitzki, the second baseman, who grounded out over to first base in the first. Wax still over at first base. Bivens delivers and locates the zone to quickly get ahead. No balls, 1 strike. Nowitzki, a hit in 4 of his last 5 games. And trying to get another one here. Move Wax over, get him into scoring position. He gets his lead off of first. The 0-1. Poked behind the screen. 0-2. Bivens has started to find a little bit of a flow for himself. A ball hasn't been put into play by his defense having to make a play in this inning, and hasn't given up a hit since the first. Doing a nice job of settling into this game after allowing the early run to Levi Clark, who waits on deck. His 0-2 pitch is hit over to the right side. Skimpers off the glove of Warren and into right field. Wax at second. He's going to go over to third. The throw in from Beaver goes all the way over to Moran, but it's not in time. A lucky break there for Nate Nowitzki on a hard hit ball, and there's runners at the corners with one down.
Yeah, and that's excellent base running from Jason Wax. He took a small look at it. As you see, it finally gets past, goes, sees that it hits the grass, and started to slow down. Beaver needed a perfect throw on the run, but Wax takes full advantage. As soon as that glove got past, as soon as the ball got past Hunter Warren, a really nice job going corner to corner.
Not a position that Bivens wants to be in. 2 runners on facing Levi Clark, who had an RBI single to score the first run. Back in the bottom half of the first, looking for a second RBI of the day. Swings at the first pitch. It's a shallow pop-up over to the right side. Hanley in foul territory makes a skillful basket catch, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, momentum a little bit back towards Cotuit after that, and give credit to Grady Bivens, because with 2 on and just 1 out, Wareham has a chance to either lay down a bunt and try and squeeze one in, or a sacrifice, but first pitch inducing a pop-up that stayed really close to the infield. It's about as good as it gets if you're the Kettleers.
Now tries to strand 2 with Connor Cuff, the shortstop at the plate. Grounded out over to second, back in the first inning. First pitch, top of the zone fastball. Strike 1. Cuff, the shortstop, playing in just his second game for Wareham, was 3 for 4 in his debut against Bourne 2 days ago. With a home run and a pair of RBIs, Wareham would certainly love another one here. Going over to second on the pitch was Nowitzki, but the ball is put out of play, so he'll go back to first. And now the count is 0-2 on Cuff.
Yeah, for a lefty hitter with Cuff, with Nowitzki being held on by Jake Hanley, the first baseman, it brings up that wider gap between the first baseman and second baseman. Cuff, more of a pull hitter, so trying to execute that hit and run with Nowitzki.
No balls and 2 strikes. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Nowitzki going over. No one was covering the bag, and Nowitzki was jogging over there to second base. Runners now at second and third off a total miscue from Plattner and Parkin Warren over there at short and second.
Yeah, and I think Nowitzki was honestly baiting the throw down to second. Honestly, not sure. Cotuit might have just been content with Nowitzki taking that bag and not letting the throw be late to second and Wax come in to score. But it also takes away the force out at second, and the Gatemen with a single with 2 outs, runners on the move, could definitely score a pair. Connor Cuff can continue his fast start.
Goes down as the first stolen base of the season for Nate Nowitzki. 1-2 with runners at second and third. Bivens, long stare, comes home, misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cuff started in all 55 games for Southeastern Louisiana this past season. Batted .301 and was an RBI machine, surpassing 50. Looking for RBIs, a 3 and 4 here with the Gatemen. 2-2 pitch, down in the dirt. And after being down 0-2, Cuff has worked the count full.
That's a great job from Connor Cuff. These are the at-bats that Wareham is happy to bring into its lineup at a more consistent rate. Connor Cuff did it in his debut, doing so again today.
A big pitch coming. 2 on and a full count. Here's the payoff. Upstairs. Cuff works a gritty walk. Was down 0-2. Sees 4 straight balls, and the bases are loaded for Cade Elam.
And gritty is right, Dan. So Connor Cuff in a position with his back against the wall. Wareham on the verge of a breakthrough offensively. And got to fight. And he did just that. Now Cade Elam tries to give Wareham the lead.
And a mound visit coming here for Cotuit. They want to talk things over ahead of this matchup with Kate Elam, who has been an RBI machine as of late. Has done a really nice job, as it does seem like it is Rob Cooper out of the bullpen, out of the dugout right now for the Kettleers.
Yeah, this would be a very short start for Grady Bivens, and they're going to stick with him. I don't blame them. It's just understanding what the scout is on Kate Elam, trying to get some soft contact off the bat, strand these bases loaded, and get out of the inning without any further damage.
And Bivens has not given up a run since the first inning, trying to escape a big jam here, going against Kate Elam, who has a pair of RBIs in back-to-back games for the Gatemen. Wax at third, Nowitzki at second, Cuff at first. First pitch is a high chopper over to the third baseman, Moran. He throws across the diamond and gets the out. So nothing comes of the Ducks on the pond here in the bottom half of the third for Wareham. No runs come across on one hit, no errors. 3 left on base, and after 3 innings of play here at Spillane Field, we've got a tie ball game, 1-1 here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Here for the top of the fourth, Ethan Baiotto back out onto the mound, trying to match his longest start of the summer into the top of the fourth. Tied at 1 after a busy first inning, Dan. Both sides starting to cool off offensively.
And Wareham had a chance in that bottom half of the third and loaded up the bases, but 2 outs on the board, and what a job by Grady Bivens. After the mound visit, throws 1 pitch and gets the out on Kate Elam.
First pitch to Hunter Warren is grounded foul, and the count's 0-1. Warren out of the transfer portal on his way to NC State after a very successful season with Wright State. It's the conference freshman of the year out of the Horizon League. The 0-1. Hit up the middle, on a line. Hamilton in, makes the play. Back-to-back flyouts to the center fielder, induced by Ethan Baiotto, and there's 1 down in the top of the fourth.
And Warren got a good piece there, but just a nice job by Hamilton to go out, get that ball. Easy first out. That's what you want to see from Baiotto here in his 4th inning of work.
It's now Jake Canley, the cleanup man, on his way to Georgia. First baseman. Right on left, the pitch from Baiotto. Hit up the middle. Hamilton on the move and makes the play for another fly out. That's now 3 straight putouts from R.J. Hamilton. He's been busy.
Just keep hitting the ball there if you're Cotuit. Love the way that R.J.'s been playing out there today. Haven't been the hardest of tests, but he's been making some comfortable plays out there and has been helping out Baiotto, showing off the speed a little bit right there at first. I thought that ball was going to get down.
Yeah, and trying to redeem himself a little bit after allowing that one to reach beyond his outstretched glove in the first inning. That was the leadoff triple to Dawson Park. Now Will Plattner digs in. First pitch. Takes on the outside corner. A cold strike, 0-1. Plattner, the catcher out of Alabama. The 0-1. Misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just finished up his redshirt junior season with the Crimson Tide, who made it to the College World Series. He's a big defensive guy for Alabama. 1-1, a called strike, inner third. Count now 1-2, but Plattner used primarily as a defensive substitution for the Crimson Tide, now trying to get his offense to follow suit here on the Cape. Walked his first time up, behind 1-2. Takes, it's the right call, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Plattner's been starting to find it, a .333 batting average for him coming into this game over his first 5.
And making his 6th start of the summer. 2-2 pitch, grounded foul. Certainly encouraging if you're the coaching staff in Tuscaloosa watching that, because you're going up against quality arms. And right here, a guy in Ethan Baiotto who probably see next year out of Tennessee. 2-2. This is inside, and Baiotto now in a full count with Plattner.
And Plattner walked off of Baiotto back to start off the second inning, so he's very comfortable here against the man from Tennessee.
Payoff with the bases clear is outside. Nikolai tried to frame it inside the zone. He doesn't get the call, and it's a 2-out walk for Will Plattner.
A nice pitch right there, and really a good miss. That just missed on the outside part of the plate right there against Plattner, but you'll take that at bat if you're both sides, still 2 outs, nothing really changes, and going against Ryan Taransky, now a guy that you forced an easy ground ball on back in the second.
And trying to replicate that this time around. Batting 6th, the left fielder from Cincinnati. Baiotto sets. Pitch. Hit up the middle. That one's dropping too quickly for Hamilton to make a play on it. Base knock for Ryan Taransky, and Cotuit stringing together a couple of 2-out base runners. Second hit of the day allowed off of Ethan Baiotto.
And just the 3rd hit of Taransky's season now. So he's got to be happy with that. It's got to feel good for him, and that was on his 50th at-bat of the entire summer. Now, seeming like Cohen Nikolai having some trouble with his catching gear. That is the reason for this little mini delay, but this is the first time that Baiotto has really been working out of trouble. It's the first time that he has 2 runners on, has done a really nice job of working around damage. When it's damage, it's usually limited. I mean, you saw that in the first with the triple, and then got the outs. He had the walk in the second, got the outs he needed, had a 2-out single in the third, got the next batter. So he does a really nice job of minimizing damage. He now just needs 1 out.
And wouldn't be surprised if this is the last inning of his day for Baiotto. Nobody up and throwing yet for the Gatemen, but the longest outing he's gone this season was 4 innings. And this would be completing his 4th if he can retire Jesse DiMaggio. Designated hitter, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, batting 7th out of Westmont. Division 2, hit .309 this past spring. After the break, Baiotto trying to get out of the inning unscathed. First pitch misses in the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. Cotuit took the 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Wareham responded instantly in the home half. Now the Kettleers trying to regain the advantage. Mejia and a 1-0 count. The pitch. Check swing. He did not. The appeal down to our first base umpire, Jake Brickta. So DiMaggio ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Baiotto comes set after a long pause. Tapped foul, 2 balls and 1 strike.
He left that one a little bit high, and DiMaggio just gets under it slightly, but that's one that you're really going to want back. That was a near middle fastball.
DiMaggio struggling right now at the plate. 1 for his last 21. And a 2-1 count. The pitch. Grounded foul right side. Looked like the wood might have split on that one.
Certainly sounded like it.
And DiMaggio walking back to that first base dugout. He's ready for a new stick. Baiotto fires back-to-back strikes and now leveling the count 2-2. We got word, Dan, that Jesse DiMaggio, that family records say there's a distant relationship to Joe DiMaggio, the star for the New York Yankees, first cousin of Jesse's grandfather. You buying it?
I'm trying to do the lineage here in my head to figure this one out. I'm going to need to see some more proof, I think, to really get behind it. I'm not doubting it. Just want to know for a fact.
Yeah, I would say the last name, similarities on the field, 2-2, cut on and missed. And he's down on strikes for the second time today. Cotuit gets a couple of 2-out base runners, but Baiotto strands them there. And it brings us a good time to send things over to the third member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel. CeCe, what do you got in a 1-1 game?
Well, thanks, guys. Cade Elam, the third baseman for the Gatemen, has had a hot bat recently. 7 hits, 2 RBI, in the last 4 games. And he honestly had a lot of potential in a lot of different areas. And one of them was at the Division I level in football as a quarterback. Elam received offers from Eastern Kentucky, Marshall, and Ohio University, but wanted to be at a school where he was able to play both football and baseball. Now, he just committed to Louisville in the 8th grade and had the green light from the football coaching staff to play and join their roster, but he did not get that same green light from the baseball staff. At that point, he had a decision on where he wanted to be great, and his answer was baseball. He says that he's happy with his choice, and while football is no longer in the picture for him, he's able to take a couple things from the gridiron and apply them to baseball between different types of arm angles and being able to play on different platforms as a QB. Those are just 2 things that he takes into account as an infielder, and he looks forward to taking more small wins at bat and in the field. Back to you guys.
Thank you, CeCe. Cade Elam and the Wareham Gatemen trying to get the lead here for the first time today. We've hit the bottom of the 4th at Spillane Field. Adam Hipsky with you alongside Dan Shalam. It's Cohen Nicolai, Tony Lira, and Noah Sheffield due up for the Gatemen. Pretty neat story there about Cade Elam, a high school football quarterback, trying to see what translates. And right now he's seeing the ball very well at the plate. Not the kind of success that you want today, but saw plenty of pitches and now trying to hand it off to the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Gatemen in this half of the inning.
He's been doing a really nice job. 4 RBIs over the last 2 games. Obviously grounded out with the bases loaded, but still good wood on the ball. Has been looking solid overall.
To lead things off in the 4th inning against the starter, Grady Bivens deals a first pitch fastball at 91. It misses in at the knees, and the count's 1-0. Nicolai trying to bounce back. The 1-0. Inside, hits him on the numbers, and he seems unfazed. He takes off down to first. I think Nicolai, Dan, just excited to be on the base paths again. It's been a rough go as of late for him.
Certainly has. He was 0 for his last 12, so find a way on base. You don't care if it's by a hit by pitch, by a walk. Once you finally get back on there, something can change, and Wareham definitely wants Cohen Nicolai's power to show up.
Yeah, and during that stretch, just 1 walk, so he hasn't been getting on base. Jason Wax, kind of a similar story with the lack of production in terms of hits. As Tony Lira swings at a first pitch fastball and rolls over on it foul. But for Nicolai, you don't really get on base much, and even though you get hit, it can do something for your momentum going forward, trying to carry that in. And after Wareham now has a leadoff base runner for the second straight inning. In the third, it was off the walk, now off the hit by pitch. Lyra swings and lines it foul right side.
And really, Lyra is someone that you want to start to get going. He's kind of been in that same funk as Cohen Nicolai.
Had an 0 for 13 stretch about a week and a half ago. But since then, has totaled hits in 2 of his last 3, batting 8th today. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses high. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Lyra. Drew a walk his first time up. Back-to-back games with the free pass for Lyra. And a 1-2 count, still having a battle against Bivens. The runner on first, he brings it home. Misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bivens approaching 60 pitches. That last one, his 56th of the day. Trying to depart with at least a tie game, hoping for a little bit of help from his offense. Has allowed 3 hits. 2-2. Fouled straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes remains the count on Lyra. With Noah Sheffield on deck. They were trying to get his swing path down outside of the batter's box. You saw it right there. Kind of moving his hands through the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner on first in Cohen Nicolai, being held on by Jay Cantley. Inches off the base. And the 2-2. Hit up the middle, deep fly ball. Kroberger back, and he makes the catch. Nicolai heads back to first. Good contact from Tony Lyra, but not enough, and there's 1 gone now in the bottom of the 4th.
Certainly hard hit ball, center field, but really, Kroberger didn't have to move an inch. Just sticks the glove out, makes an easy play for a big first out for Grady Bivens as he starts to labor a little bit here.
Now Noah Sheffield, the 9th hitting left fielder, headed to Michigan out of the transfer portal after a season at Florida State. First pitch, grounded foul right side. It was right there on the line. Hanley tried to snag it before it got to the right of the line, but couldn't do so in time. It's 0-1.
He made a nice jump.
Yep.
Got up, got the ball, but just goes foul, and Sheffield had another funky play like that in his first at-bat.
Mm-hmm. It was like a ground ball in between the catcher, and home plate. Just sat there. The 0-1 off a couple of hops. Nice play with the glove by J.J. Moran at third. Needed it to retire a speedy Sheffield. Throws on to first in time, and there's now 2 away. But Cohen Nicolai moves into scoring position for the Gatemen.
And that's a great job there of the third baseman, Moran, of realizing you're not going to get 2 if you go to second to get Nicolai. So take the guaranteed out, cut down Sheffield. That's a nice play to put 2 outs on the board.
Jason Wax trying to drive home Nicolai and give Wareham its first lead of the game. Pitch from Bivens. Cut on and missed. Wax struggling at the plate. 0-1 the count. Wax on his way to LSU, batting .216 with 3 runs batted in this summer. Nicolai was hit by a pitch as the leadoff guy in the 4th inning. Now over on second after the ground out from Sheffield. Bivens steps off. Both teams in search of a bounce back. Cotuit at 5-11-2 this season. Wareham at 4-14. The 0-1. Inside, and it runs all the way in and gets a piece of Wax. The 89-mile-per-hour fastball ends up clipping the right fielder, And now Wareham has 2 on with 2 out.
And he was totally fine with that because it hit right off of his leg guard right there. Literally plunked right off of it and just died. Interesting, though. It's the second hit by pitch of the inning dealt by Bivens. And now a weird streak continues for Wareham. 4 straight games where they have had 2 of their batters plunked.
Yeah, 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches. Bivens not the control he would have liked. R.J. Hamilton digs in now. First pitch. Fouled back in the count 0-1. Hamilton singled and scored his first time up. Had the solo home run yesterday. 4 RBIs this summer. Both runners on right now were hit by pitches from Grady Bivens, who has thrown 63 pitches today. The 0-1. Fouled in and out of the mid of Plattner. So the count 0-2. Hamilton trying to deliver the big hit. Bivens collects himself. 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. The 0-2. Flied into right field. Beaver comes in and makes the play. Grady Bivens doesn't allow a hit, but strands a pair of runners for Wareham. We are through 4 at Spillane Field. Gatemen and Kettleers knotted up at 1 here on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
The 5th here at Spillane Field, and you're watching that first inning. This is where all the action happened. Since then, both sides trading zeros, but Cotuit brought home that first run of the game off the ground out from Landon Beaver, scored Dawson Park after his leadoff triple, but Wareham responded instantly in the bottom of the first. Now, it's time for the Wareham bullpen to come into the game. Ethan Baiotto's day is done. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. And it's also time, Dan, for a Gateman debut. Bryce Turner, the 6'7", 250 righty out of FIU.
A guy that saw a lot of action this past season, 25 2/3 in 19 appearances. A 2-3 record for him. And he had the ERA hanging at around 8, but a guy that really loves to hunt hitters, hunts the strikeout, really. 24 this past season compared to 17 walks, so he's not afraid to pound the zone and let his defense do the work.
So today, he digs in against J.J. Moran, Chase Kroberger, and Dawson Park. 8-9-1 due up for the Kettleers in a 1-1 game in the top of the 5th. First pitch on the inside corner, a called strike. 0-1. Moran 0 for 1 today with a ground out right to the first baseman, Tony Lira. The 0-1 called strike outside corner, 0-2. Moran, the third baseman out of Stanford, facing Bryce Turner, who uses the fastball primarily, nearly 60% of the time. The 0-2. This is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Also has the slider and the sinker, but it's a heavy, heavy dosage of the fastball and slider. One, two, popped up right side. Wax on the move, continues to sprint, and it trails out of play.
And I'm interested to see how it goes here for Bryce Turner. We saw Jordan Barfield make his first debut. He got knocked around a little bit, and sometimes when these relievers come out of the bullpen, it can be rough for them starting in a new place. But Turner really seems unfazed right now, has gotten ahead on his first hitter, and he's a big presence out there on the mound. 6'7", 250.
Yeah, trying to deliver a first batter out. The 1-2 is smoked down the left field line. Fair ball, extra bases for J.J. Moran. Sheffield to the wall, and an easy stand-up double for J.J. Moran to start things out in the 5th.
Third double of the season for J.J. Moran. And just a really nice piece of hitting here from him. He put a ball into right field that he was just laid on, and then straightens this one out, punches it out into left. And just a nice job there as the first extra base hit since the first inning for Cotuit, and a runner into scoring position. Honestly, seems like a bunt opportunity here for the 9-hole hitter.
So Chase Kroberger, who tried to lay down a bunt in the 3rd inning, popped out to the pitcher, Ethan Baiotto. Turner comes set. First pitch. This is up and in, 1-0. Moran in scoring position. Ethan Baiotto's final line, he goes 4 innings, surrenders 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Entered with a .77 ERA, exits with a 1.15. The 1-0 pitch. This is inside, and Turner having a tough time locating the zone right now behind 2 balls, no strikes.
Turner succeeds, though, with the added pressure. A .263 batting average against overall with runners not on base. A .161 with runners in scoring position.
So trying to excel here, but not a great start to this battle with Chase Kroberger. He's behind 3-0.
And just hasn't really been able to locate the zone. Is a little bit afraid right now to go back inside after he saw what Moran did.
Second batter that Bryce Turner has faced. The 3-0. Misses. And it's a 4-pitch walk for the 9th hitting Kroberger. And Cotuit has 2 on and nobody out in the top of the 5th.
And now Dawson Park steps to the plate, top of the order. He has a triple and a double in this game. Not the guy that you want to be facing if you're Turner.
Yeah, Park with a ton of success. On the bright side, it was against Ethan Baiotto. Turner ready to go, trying to bounce back after a couple of leadoff base runners. First pitch this time is a called strike after issuing the 4-pitch walk to Kroberger. Starts his response with a first pitch strike to Dawson Park.
Nice bounce back, break up that stretch of balls and just go after him.
The 0-1. This is low of the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike. Park batting .263 from Texas State. On his way to LSU out of the transfer portal. Shortstop had a leadoff triple and then a single his last time up. 1-1. Loads up, holds a swing. Takes a strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2.
And you can feel Bryce Turner getting close. Just getting that first out would be a huge confidence boost.
Runners on first and second. 1-2. Cut on and missed. Great start for Dawson Park. But Bryce Turner comes into the game and gets him to go down on strikes. After the 4-pitch walk to Chase Kroberger delivers his first strikeout of the summer. There's one away.
That was quality right there. Nice chase. Top half of the zone. Uses the fastball. Things become more manageable. The double play now gets you out of the inning.
So Landon Beaver, the left-handed right fielder from UAB, had the RBI ground out in the first inning, flew out to center his last time up. First pitch from Turner. Dots the outside corner, a called strike. It's probably the furthest most pitch outside we've seen today called a strike. And the count 0-1.
Good pitch right there. Go right back to it.
0-1. Grounded foul. That time went inside on Beaver, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. Turner starting to find a bit of a rhythm.
That's what he does with runners in scoring position.
Beaver 8 RBIs this summer, batting .310. Can drive in a run here and give Cotuit the lead right back. Pitch misses low. And the fans here at Spillane Field not a fan of it.
And you can see the home plate umpire, Mike Griffin, nodding his head. That pitch missed below the zone. It was the right call there.
So now 1-2 count. It's a very close miss, though, from Bryce Turner. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to the top 2 hitters in this Kettleers lineup. And there's now 2 away in the top of the 5th.
And what a response from Bryce Turner after giving up back-to-back base runners, back-to-back strikeouts. Talked about it, does really well with runners in scoring position. And if you're Cotuit, this really a wasted opportunity if you can't get anything across here with 2 outs.
It's Hunter Warren to try and keep this inning alive for the Kettleers. 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts today. Turner shakes off one side, now comes set. Strike 1. This would be an excellent response from Bryce Turner. Didn't look great out of the gates. Leadoff double, 4-pitch walk to the 8th and 9th hitting on this Kettleers lineup. So the 0-1 comes home, and it's a called strike. Outside corner, 0-2. Just 1 pitch away now for Bryce Turner.
Just found a flow after letting up those first 2 hitters.
Turner brings it together. Misses outside, and we saw it in the at-bat prior. It was a very close miss. At that time, uses it. An 0-2 count, dances away from the zone. Tough pitch to lay off of if you're Hunter Warren. 1-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Bryce Turner. Gives up a couple of leadoff base runners, but works around it with 3 straight Ks. A great job from Bryce Turner, working with some speed. And Dan, we're a little bit familiar with speed, if that's what you want to call it. Yesterday, and if you were with us on July 3rd, you knew that we were talking about it, dreading it. The Mattapoisett Road Race.
You see that right there, first place for me.
And Dan
Topped
does
you
it.
by about 90 seconds. It was a great effort from you, though. Very proud of you.
So, it kind of says it there at the top, but we won't tell you how long we actually ran. You can leave that up to your own imagination with our 42-minute first-place finisher.
There it is, crossing the line.
Attaboy. So there's Dan.
You with your girlfriend getting across the line, supporting you as you
coming through.
Get over. That was a big one.
Yeah, that was something.
There's our executive producer, Jocelyn.
She finishes.
Graphics producer, Sydney, coming in.
Hey, how about Jocelyn right there leaving Sydney in the dust?
Yeah, just leaving her partner behind. At least your girlfriend didn't do that to you.
No, as much as she wanted to throughout the race. And CeCe comes in, and then, listen.
There he is in the blue shirt.
Come on now. Jack Knight comes through, and we've got one more back there, and I want to take a second to highlight someone that did not run in this race and give him a little bit of grief. because he claims that the alarm wasn't set, and that's Nick Griffin. After talking a whole lot about how he would be the guy at the top of that list, he didn't even show up, Dan.
Well, I can't wait for our next race, and we'll see if Nick actually decides to run this time.
We're doing another race? This is
I
the
have to
first
do
I'm
one
hearing
at some
about it.
point. That might be the first and last time. I can't lose my crown, all right? I'm number one forever now. That's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't if I were you. And yeah, the legs aren't feeling too hot this
I
morning.
know you're limping around a little bit, but it's
very,
warranted.
Very glad that we're sitting up here in our cozy booth. Here for the bottom of the fifth. First pitch to Nate Nowitzki misses outside. Grady Bivens working into the bottom of the fifth.
Kind of surprised that he's still out there to start off this fifth inning.
Has given up 3 hits, 1 run. The 1-0 is fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dan, your main takeaway from yesterday's outing?
I think that I surprised myself yesterday with finishing sub 45. I mean, before we were talking if we were going to finish under an hour.
Yeah. And
so you got to be proud of our group regardless.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody finished under an hour.
Yes, everybody finished under an hour. Once again, we will not tell you how long the race was, but we did finish it.
Can figure it out for yourselves. 4 on the 4th. I'm not going to tell you, but that is a good hit.
Miles, kilometers. Maybe it was.
If it was kilometers, that would be pretty sad.
Yeah, an issue. Trying to think of other measures of
yards. I guess you could put it into yards.
What would
yards
make
wouldn't do much.
What would make I can't remember what it was. 44-minute time in this race look better. Nowitzki goes down looking. He's now 1 for 3 today, and Bivens collects another strikeout, his second of the game. Is there one that's longer than Miles?
No, I think Miles is probably the. I guess you could go to just straight meters.
Yeah, 4 meters.
It doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't. So, Dan and I, we both finished the race along with our entire production staff. A great time here in Mattapoisett. First pitch to Levi Clark, a called strike. It was more challenging than I thought. I think we both.
The heat was really a big factor.
Yeah, and that was not, we did not know that when signing up for it. The 0-1 misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Bivens working all the way into the fifth. And an arm loosening for the Gatemen down beyond left field. And it's Jackson Hoyt, southpaw from Florida. 1-1. This is outside. Clark had the RBI single in the first, responsible for the lone run of the game for the Gatemen.
You said that you thought that race might inspire you to do more. Has that changed your perspective on anything?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster, and Clark gets ahead 3-1. I'll say this. Yesterday, I thought, maybe a 5K could be in the future.
I mean, you did the 4 on the 4th, so you could do a 5K.
Yeah, I'm just saying, to be a more consistent runner, Clark gets under this one. Center field, Kroberger comes in, makes the play for the second out. Now, that was 24 hours ago, and today I have woken up with an immense amount of soreness. Quads, hamstrings, calves, you name it, I've got it, and it doesn't feel too good today, Dan.
Did you stretch after the race?
Constant stretching. There's been no shortage of stretching up and down the board. Speaking of stretching, there's Jackson Hoyt getting ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't cramp up like you are right now.
No, it's been rough today for sure. Tons of water. I'm not a mustard guy, but I've heard mustard, pickle juice.
I like pickles.
Not a pickle guy, as Connor Cuff tips it into the mitt of Plattner for strike 1.
I think the added atmosphere just to finish things up on the race side of things, the sprinklers, everyone having the hoses going, it really made it made you want to run, and you also were cooling down as you went along.
Yes, which was much needed. I mean, it literally fell. It was like, what was it, 87, 88 degrees?
Yeah, but with the humidity,
yeah.
I mean, it was way higher than that.
The 1-1. This is in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Dan, even our production staff, we were saying that we were all proud of ourselves for finishing under an hour. Dan, I'm proud that we all made it to the race in time for the start. We started at 9 a.m. This is a group of night owls. We play baseball.
Director Nick Griffin.
Yeah, except Nick. Yeah, I shouldn't say all of us. Those that were inspired enough to get out of bed.
What were you up, like 6:45 in the morning?
It was a battle. Well, I needed to I've also learned that carb loading is supposed to be done the night before, not the morning of.
And you've made one trip already to Mezzaluna, right? Today,
yes,
the Italian restaurant.
Well, I earned it. I did earn it.
Here in Wareham, and I heard that they're also delivering the post-game meal. So I think you're just getting a double carb load.
Yeah. Trying to refuel, I guess, if there's ever going to be another one of these things. Connor Cuff draws the 2-out walk, back-to-back free passes issued to Cuff, and there's now a base runner in the bottom of the 5th. Kate Elam digs in. CeCe Gabriel, third member of our crew, took a dive into his backstory earlier. High school quarterback. He's 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. Trying to extend this inning. Bivens pitch. Inside, ball 1. A 1-1 game in the bottom of the 5th.
I was surprised that you even made it to the broadcast last night in Bourne after your running performance.
No kidding. It was a very, very long day as the throw over to first, not in time. Long day, but you don't want it any later. You don't want to get it any hotter. But, got up, went, did it, and feeling the after effects. I guess that's what happens when you start training on July 1st for a race on July 4th. Elam shoots one up the middle. Cuff on his way to third. He goes corner to corner. And Wareham trying to spark a little 2-out rally late here in the 5th.
Rallying like you were yesterday on that course, and it really you got across the line. That's all that matters, and you did it in a fast manner of time.
Yeah, at about the 2.5-mile mark, and anyone that was there can attest to this.
I was there.
It started going downhill a little bit, and that was the difference. Dan had that second gear.
That was when you were circling Ned's Point Lighthouse in Mattapoisett, coming around the bend. The bend did not treat you very kindly.
No, not at all. 7-game hit streak now for Kate Elam. Brings up Cohen to Cly. Elam on the move. And the throw down to second. Cuff takes off. The throw back to the plate. Skips away from Plattner. Wareham executes the double steal to perfection. Plattner threw down to second. Tried to end the inning right then and there, but Kate Elam forces a run to come home, and an errant throw from Dawson Park. Gatemen have the lead for the first time tonight. It's 2-1.
That's a play you see in Little League right there. Send the runner over and then send the man from third home. And it was a great throw down to second from Plattner. He beat Elam there by a mile, but Elam stopped in the middle of first and second to really give way there for Cuff to come home, and a bad throw from Park gives the Gatemen a 2-1 lead.
So no one count on the Cly, and the pitch is swung on and fouled right side.
Doesn't have to be pretty. Just got to get the job done.
So the Gatemen tack on one after 3 straight scoreless innings. Now Grady Bivens tries to get out of this inning without any more damage done. 0-2 on the catcher. On his way to Oregon State. Pitch. This is low, and the count 1-2.
Just an unfortunate break there if you're Cotuit as well. You have 2 outs on the board. You're working well against Nikolai, and then Wareham just decides to get funky on the bases, and it works.
Yeah, walk in a single. And then Wareham pulls off the double steal. The 1-2. Clyde gets under it, and it's popped out of play.
And Bivens, up to 86 pitches now on the day. He's used to starter length, but he's definitely laboring here in the bottom half of the fifth.
1-2 the count, 2 away. Bivens has thrown a ton of pitches. That last one was his 85th of the day. The 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bivens giving Cotuit some length that we haven't really seen, not in terms of innings, but pitch counts. 87, by far and away the highest.
And he threw 72 2/3 this past season at Eckerd College. He's used to the starter role.
2-2. High fly ball, shallow center field. Hunter Warren, the second baseman, back, and instead it's Kroberger that comes on from center and makes the play. But not before Wareham gets the lead for the first time tonight off a double steal in the bottom of the fifth. We are through 5 at Spillane Field. It's Gatemen 2, Kettleers 1 on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Ready for the top of the 6th, and it's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change, and it's Jackson Hoyt, the left-hander out of Florida, who's set to deal to a part of the Cotuit lineup that is very dangerous. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Kettleers. Jake Hanley, Will Plattner, and Ryan Taransky facing Hoyt.
Hoyt hasn't pitched in a long time, over a week. His last appearance on the 27th against the YD Red Sox. And that one with 2 earned runs given up over an inning and 2/3. And this a Cotuit lineup that lost one of their big pieces. Tate Davis started the season with the Kettleers and was then quickly off the team because he headed to Team USA, but he was mashing.
Yeah, the training camp roster ended up getting trimmed down. Tate Davis on the right side of those cuts. He was very, very good. A Golden Spikes finalist after an outstanding sophomore season with Louisville. And you see that Cotuit dugout. I'm sure they wish that he was in the lineup for them today. A 5-11-2 Kettleers squad. But Tate Davis no longer with Cotuit, and it's a new guy batting towards the top of the order. Jake Hanley, Will Plattner, and Ryan Taransky once again the minimum for Hoyt. In his 4th appearance of the summer. Jake Hanley, the first baseman, 0 for 2 today. Left on left. First pitch of the inning. Misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hanley with an excellent sophomore season at Indiana this past spring. Named to the 2nd team out of the Big Ten Conference. The 1-0. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Committed to Georgia out of the transfer portal. It's a Bulldogs team that just made the College World Series, and he brings a lot to the table down there in Athens. 1-1. This is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hanley, first IU player since 2005 to start every game in both his freshman and sophomore seasons. That goes beyond just skill, Dan, being ready to show up every day and being talented enough to go along with it to give your coach confidence to throw you in that lineup each and every day.
It's just consistency. Half the battle of showing up in baseball and really all overall in life is just showing up, and Hanley has demonstrated that to a T, and he's been rewarded by the game because of it. Someone that just goes out there and grinds. I mean, you can't really put together a better stat than that to encapsulate the career of Jake Hanley thus far.
Hoyt and Clyde trying to get on the same page. So the leadoff guy in the top of the 6th inning. Wareham with a 2-1 lead off of the double steal. Runners on the corners. Gatemen come home. Trying to retire the cleanup man, Jake Hanley. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Jackson Hoyt gets a strikeout to start his day. There's one down in the 6th.
Really nice job, and the Gatemen, as a staff now, have struck out the first 4 of this top 9 in the 3rd time through the order. You're wondering how Hoyt was going to start. He's got banged around a little bit the last couple of games. Off on the right foot here.
Will Plattner yet to be retired today. 2 walks, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. Back up now in the 6th in a 2-1 game. First pitch misses well inside. So Hoyt gets the best of the lefty Jake Hanley. Now faces his first right-handed hitter of the day in Plattner. Still in his first half dozen of games on the Cape this summer. 1-0. Ball and strike, outer edge, 1-1. And for Plattner, we say that he's early in the season still after getting some experience in Omaha in the College World Series. Called it unreal, true once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And obviously, this can go without being said, but talked about how playing with that much pressure in that moment with that many people watching was a big teaching point. It said if you can do it there, you can do it anywhere. Now trying to prove it here on the Cape. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Back-to-back punch-outs here to start Jackson Hoyt's day, and that's now 5 straight hitters retired via the K for the Gatemen pitching staff.
Gross, really, between Turner and now Hoyt. He's looked on it today, and that's the consistency that Wareham has really been searching for ever since his first appearance, when 2 innings, gave up no hits and no runs with a pair of strikeouts against Hyannis in the 2nd game of the season, but has lacked the consistency since.
Ryan Taransky digs in now to try and start a 2-out rally. Wareham did it in the bottom of the 5th. Drew a walk and then a single. Cuff went corner to corner, and then the double steal, and the Gatemen took the 2-1 edge. Taransky trying to do the same. Singled his last time up. The 0-1. Slider that tails to the outside corner. And Hoyt just 1 strike away from striking out the side. So Bryce Turner in his debut with the Gatemen goes 1 inning, just gives up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The 0-2. Hit on the ground, left side, and through the hole for a base hit. Got on top of it, but Taransky ends up collecting back-to-back singles, and for a guy that's lacked production for a vast majority of the summer, that's an encouraging sign if you're Cotuit.
He just did enough to fight it off and put it into play in that left-on-left matchup, slaps the ball, and just does enough to get it into the outfield. Really nice job with 2 outs, and you break up this stretch of 5 straight retired by way of the K.
That's Jesse DiMaggio. First pitch, down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. DiMaggio 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. You're in the top of the 6th. Hoyt throws over to first. Good pickoff move, but not in time. Kind of a snap throw for the lefty going on to first. Count 1-0.
That's the advantage he gets pitching from the left side. Good pickoff move.
Hoyt sets and deals. Hit up the middle, past a leaping Nowitzki. On his way to third, Taransky will be without a throw. And Wareham in a little bit of trouble. Jackson Hoyt started the inning with back-to-back strikeouts, and now the Kettleers putting together a threat.
And that was just a nice piece right there from the DH. Hits it right back from where it came from, up the middle on a fastball that was in the bottom half of the zone right there. Big opportunity for Cotuit. They had 2 runners on and no one out in the 5th and didn't cash in. A chance for redemption here.
So now it's Jesse DiMaggio on first, Ryan Taransky off of third, and J.J. Moran, third baseman from Stanford that doubled his last time up. With 2 outs, DiMaggio on the move from first, another extra base hit. Could give Cotuit not just a tie game, but could potentially take the lead. Hoyt trying to get out of it unscathed. First pitch misses up and in. 88 miles per hour, and the count 1-0.
The Cly has not been tested tonight. Wareham pulled off this exact situation last inning with runners at the corners, sent Elam over to second, and then Cuff scored.
Hoyt, the pitch. Outside edge, a called strike, 1-1. Ran 3 RBIs this summer. Has drawn just 2 walks, 15 strikeouts. Here with 2 on and 2 away. Hoyt, the 1-1. Breaking ball, settles in at the bottom third. It counts 1-2.
And that's an aggressive pitch there from Hoyt, going against the righty to drop in the off-speed middle of the zone. That was a cookie. He gets away with it there.
Moran didn't like it. Now a 1-2 count. Hoyt around some traffic. The 1-2. Fly ball. Shallow center field. Hamilton on a sprint. He comes in, makes the play on the run. Loses his hat in the process, but Wareham maintains its lead. It's Gatemen 2, Kettleers 1 through 5.5 at Spillane Field. On the other side, 8-9-1 due up for the Gatemen when we return on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Last couple of years, Cotuit hasn't gotten the finish to the year that they wanted, but they've gotten Wareham out of the playoffs last 2 years. It's been Kettleers over Gatemen. But right now, these two sides stand just trying to make it into the playoffs, and they're searching for that final spot here approaching the midway point of 2026.
It's certainly not where either squad wants to be, and there was big expectations for Cotuit and Wareham. especially with Take Davis on the side of the Kettleers, but obviously he leaves for Team USA, and it feels like Cotuit's kind of been struggling ever since he's left. And a pitching change here for the Kettleers as well. Jacob Burnham's onto the game, the man from BC who pitched 37 2/3 this past season with 34 strikeouts.
So the left-hander here in this Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. Grady Bivens' day is done. He goes 5 innings, gives up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. First pitch of the day from Burnham is a fastball inside for ball 1.
That's a 3-pitch mix for him as well. Fastball, slider, and the changeup. And the fastball is the primary pitch at 40 to 50%. And tops out at about 88.
Lyra fouls it away, and the count's 1-1. So it is a 3-pitch mix, but it feels like to either side it kind of becomes more of a 2-pitch offering. Right now against Lyra, who looks at the changeup that time at 79, and the count's 1-2. But to righties, it's about 40% each to both fastball and changeup, and then the 20 on the slider. And Lyra foul tips it into the mitt of Plattner. And there's 1 away. First strikeout of the day for Burnham.
And Burnham this past season with BC, 14 appearances, started 6 games, so a bit of a hybrid arm. That was over 37 2/3. Finished with a 2-2 record and a 5 ERA.
Trying to keep this at just a 1-run game. First pitch to Noah Sheffield, misses outside, 1-0. Misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Sheffield 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs. Base is clear. The pitch popped up, out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sheffield, the left fielder, on his way to Michigan. Playing in just his 3rd game of the summer for the Gatemen. 1 game didn't go his way, 1 game did. It's the 2-1 misses inside. For Sheffield in his debut, it was a dreadful start. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts rather against Harwich. Bounced back though. Next game against Brewster, 2 for 2 with 2 walks. The 3-1. Inside, draws another walk. 3rd free pass issued of the summer for Noah Sheffield. And the Gatemen have a 1-out base runner here in the 6th.
His plate discipline has been really good. After that first game, has been working counts deep, has swung when he's wanted to, but not the 3rd walk for him on the young season.
Jason Wax now the right fielder from Tulane, out of the transfer portal to LSU. Trying to tack on some runs and help out the Wareham relievers. Give them some run support here in a 2-1 game in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch is crushed. Deep right field. Beaver goes back, looks up, it's gone. Jason Wax, the 1-out, 2-run bomb, gives the Gatemen some insurance. It's 4-1 Wareham after Jason Wax's first home run of the summer.
That's a really nice job there to break up this mini slump that he's been in a huge way. Was just 1 for his last 16 coming into that at-bat and gets all of that pitch. Left on left as well. You think that Burnham would have the advantage, but Wax gets enough, takes it out of the park, and that is huge for the Gatemen.
Wax touches them all today. RJ Hamilton steps in now, a guy that touched them all yesterday. And home run brought to you by the Captain Tsunami movie, available to watch on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. First pitch, slow roller to 3rd. Moran gloves, can't throw, not in time. Infield single for RJ Hamilton. He's got 2 hits today for the Gatemen.
That couldn't have been better placed right there from RJ Hamilton. Down the 3rd base line, just pokes it right there. No one was really expecting it. And now another speed threat on the bases.
So not the start to Jacob Burnham's day that he would have liked.
He struck out the first batter, too.
I guess in that sense, he did get the start. But since then, Wareham has gotten the best of him in the last 3 batters that he's faced. Now Nate Nowitzki. First pitch. Misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Another left on left. And the one prior, obviously, Jason Wax, who pulled it all the way over the right field wall. It's about 335 down the line. And he got every bit of the slider. The 1-0 pitch is crushed. Deep right field. Beaver on the move. It's a fair ball. Extra bases. Nowitzki heads for second. Hamilton gets the stop sign. Throw goes into second. Hamilton bluffs halfway down the line between third and home. But another extra base hit from a left-handed hitter against the southpaw, Jacob Burnham. And the Gatemen have 2 in scoring position. Still just 1 away with Levi Clark coming to the plate.
And that double was in the same exact spot where the home run was, down that right field line. Both hitters getting ahead of the ball. Beaver fields quickly and gets it in to hold Hamilton at third. But a big inning brewing here for Wareham with already 2 across.
That could be a rather quick day for Jacob Burnham. Started with a strikeout against Tony Lira. Since then, walk, home run, single, double. Gatemen just a cycle away from, or just a triple away from getting the cycle against Burnham in his first inning out of relief.
There you go. And for a Wareham lineup that came into this game with the worst batting average in the league at .215, this is what you're loving to see. You put together some really good swings against Bourne in that 7-5 win here at home a couple of nights ago. Kind of lost some of that momentum yesterday, but bouncing back once again here at home.
Mound visit breaks. Kevin Curtin, the pitching coach, departs from the hill. Brought the entire infield in, and now the entire infield gets on the same page. Toes on the grass. Facing Levi Clark. Already has 1 RBI today. It was a single in the first. Scored R.J. Hamilton, who's at third base now, with Nowitzki on second. Still just 1 out. First pitch to Levi Clark. Changeup misses inside, and it's 1 ball, no strikes.
Big spot here for Clark.
Wareham trying to bounce back after a collapse last night at Doran Park in Bourne. The 1-0 after a long pause. Comes home, breaking ball, misses below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. After that RBI single from Clark in the first inning, he's been quiet. Pop out in the third, a fly out in the fifth. Single here could score 2. The 2-0. Inside, 3 balls and no strikes.
Can't hit the zone right now. Be surprised if he gets another hitter if he is to walk Clark.
Nowitzki with the double on second. Hamilton singled and went corner to corner after Nowitzki's extra base hit. And the 3-0 count. The pitch. Called strike. Clark hardly lifted the bat over his right shoulder. (3-1). Burnham sets and fires. Out back. Burnham battling in this at-bat. Was behind 3-0 and now in a 3-2 count.
Doing a nice job of just battling back. Obviously, he hasn't had his best stuff, but just 1 pitch away from getting a second out.
Strikeout would be worst case scenario if you're the Gatemen in this position. Infield drawn in with 1 away. The payoff from Burnham out of the windup. It's fouled away. So Clark didn't like it. It was the slider at 80 miles an hour, and he fends it off.
And that's what you have to do here with runners in scoring position. 2 strikes on you, choke up on the bat, do whatever possible to protect. If you can just get a hard hit ball here, you probably score a run, maybe 2.
3-2. Burnham brings it home. This is high, ball 4. An excellent battle from Levi Clark. Fouled off 1-2 strike pitch and draws the free pass, and the bases are now loaded for the Gatemen already with a 3-run lead.
And that was a non-competitive pitch right there in the full count. Just tossed it up high. Didn't even challenge Clark. And now it goes to another lefty in Connor Cuff. So maybe you just wanted to pitch around Levi Clark there, but honestly, the lefties have had the most success in this inning.
Bases loaded. Infield comes in. Middle infield back. Pitch from Burnham. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count's 1-0.
Doesn't really seem like there's an arm going out there in the Cotuit bullpen. There's been no movement, no balls that you can see coming up from the right field wall.
1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A healthy cut from Connor Cuff, who's 0 for 1 today with a couple of walks. He scored on his last one.
He's got plenty of that power.
Here in just his second game of the summer with the Gatemen. It was a spectacular first. A 3 for 4 day with a couple of RBIs. Trying to add to that RBI total here. Drives it down the left field line, hooking foul, and it is out of play.
Good piece right there. Just unfortunate that it bounced in foul territory. Just trying to straighten it out. Seen a couple of lefties waxed with the home run, but then Nowitzki also punched one into right field. Don't have to do too much. Just get this ball into play.
Cuff behind in the count, 1-2. Trying to battle here in the left on left. Burnham sets. Taken low of the zone. A tough pitch to lay off of. The breaking ball that started kind of on that bottom third and then tailed beneath the bottom rail, and the count's now level at 2-2.
Really good take right there. That was a hard one to resist from Cuff, especially from the left side.
2-2. The bases loaded in a 4-1 game. The pitch on the ground, right side, a chance for 2. Warren gloves, goes to second for 1. Run comes in, the throw to second in time. Cotuit spins a double play and gets out of the inning with no further damage. Connor Cuff on the slow roller to second, but Wareham tacks on a pair and extends its lead to 3. We are through 6 at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam has you the rest of the way when we return on Cape League TV.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Take a look at the line score here at Spillane Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. 4-1 in favor of the Gatemen after the 2-run shot from Jason Wax in the bottom half of the 6th. And it could have been more.
He was all over it. And right there, first arm out of the pen for Cotuit. Gatemen didn't have a ton of success on the starter Grady Bivens, but Jacob Burnham, Wareham, with a ton of success against him in the 6th inning. Gives them 2 runs and extends that lead. And for the Gatemen, yesterday they did not control the back half. Instead, it was the opposite. They got dominated in the latter half of the game, and now today trying to flip the script and pick up a win and a bounce-back one at that. against Cotuit.
See if they can do exactly that. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change to start off the top half of the 7th. Jackson Hoyt's out of the game. He makes way for Jake Schweitzer.
Schweitzer, the 6-foot, 200-pound righty out of Louisville, his hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. He's here on the Cape for the summer, making his 7th appearance here in 2026. He's tossed to a 3.97 ERA, Dan, across 11 1/3 innings. He last pitched on July 1st against Brewster, now back on the mound here 4 days later. Against Brewster, one of his better outings of the year. One hit, it was a home run. That was the only blemish on his line. No strikeouts on the day for the right-hander. Now trying to keep this lead, give Wareham the hold, and with 9 outs to get, tries to deliver at least 3 of them.
Going against the 9-1-2 hitter, starting with Chase Kroberger. First pitch runs inside for ball 1, and for Schweitzer, it is a pitch mix that is headlined by his cutter at 28%. Then it's the fastball, slider, changeup, sinker, and the sweeper. And he uses that sinker 37% as he misses outside there for ball 2. So the sinker and the cutter being his primary pitches, and then sometimes dabbles with the fastball and some off speed. 2 balls and no strikes against Kroberger as Schweitzer misses inside once again, 3-0. Jackson Hoyt leaves the game with an inning pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts, and got out of a 6th inning where he led up back-to-back hits with 2 outs on the board. 3-0 pitch from Schweitzer. In there, top of the zone for the first pitch of his outing. And Cotuit's been knocking on the door. They've left 2 runners on in 3 straight innings, twice with 2 outs and 1 time in the 5th. They got the first 2 hitters aboard, first and second, and then nothing else. 3-1 is a fly ball into right field. Wax doesn't have to move an inch, makes an easy play for the first out here in the top half of the 7th.
A good start for Jake Schweitzer, and his last time out against Brewster commanded the zone at a very, very exceptional rate. The difference, though, was he just left 1 in the middle of the zone. He's pitched to a ton of soft contact, and he's not a high walk guy. So right now facing a side of the Cotuit lineup that isn't extremely dangerous, that's a good start. You're facing the 9th hitter, get a fly out, and get your day started. And then now it starts to get a little bit tougher.
Top of the order for Cotuit. Dawson Park, 2 for 3 in this ball game. Had a triple to start things off, came in to score. That represents the only run in this game for the Kettleers. Schweitzer with a deep breath, ready to go. And fires. Misses, bottom half of the zone for ball 1. Cotuit has had a hit in every single inning but 1 in this game. That came in the 2nd, but they still had a base runner, courtesy of the walks. So have had their chances, but just haven't cashed in. And Schweitzer looking to keep it that way. The 1-0 is a huge cut and a miss. Park swinging out of his shoes on that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been a nice job by the 2 bullpen arms so far in this game from Wareham, Bryce Turner and Jackson Hoyt, each with a clean inning and both getting at least 2 strikeouts. 1-1. Runs inside, nearly touches Park. He gets out of the way. Makes the count 2-1. 5'11" senior from Texas State going against the man from Louisville, Jake Schweitzer. Grips the ball, set at the belt, comes home. Chopper over to the third base side. Elam fields on a hop, throws to first. There's the first out made on the infield for Jake Schweitzer in this inning. 2 down quickly in the top half of the 7th.
Excellent start for Schweitzer, and it's a guy that has shown that he can get you 3 outs and he can get deeper into games as well. His longest outing of the year was 3 innings. If he went a 3 today, it would get Wareham to the finish line trying to hold on to this 3-run lead. But the Gatemen have shown no game's over until that 27th out is made.
Got 26 last night. As the first pitch here to Landon Beaver is a fly ball into right field. Wax going back. He makes the play over his head. So it's a 1-2-3, top half of the 7th for Jake Schweitzer. Really nice work from him out of the pen. Time to stretch here at Spillane Field with the Gatemen leading things by 3 here on Cape League TV.
Specialty services to the pets of Wareham and the surrounding communities. Wareham Animal Hospital is privately owned and
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
We've hit the bottom half of the 7th here in Wareham as we take a look at the West Division standings. Cotuit and Wareham there at the bottom, and the Gatemen trailing the Kettleers by 2 games. You'd think it's 1, but Cotuit has 2 ties on the season, so they are 2 games up, but the Gatemen trying to close the gap here.
And all that matters is that line between Cotuit and Wareham right now. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. Dan, we've seen it time and time again in sports. All you got to do is get in. Once you're in, anything can happen. Wareham just has to put itself in positioning, and every game matters, but a game like this with a team you know you'll probably be in it with at the end of the year, at this point in the season, every head-to-head matchup has that extra added, intrigue.
It certainly does. Cade Elam at the plate tried to square bunt, and the first pitch this time he swings and loops the ball into left field. That gets down for a leadoff single. He has been swinging the ball so well. Back-to-back singles for him and back-to-back plate appearances.
And this is the Cade Elam we thought we were going to get when he announced his commitment to come to the Gatemen for the summer. Guy that's on a 7-game hit streak after a very, very poor start to the summer. But we knew it was there. That was never in question. A guy played tons for Louisville, a very good program, and played 54 games and hit nearly 300. It was always going to be there. It's just now he's starting to figure it out, put together good at-bats, and making good contact, seeing the ball really well.
Kona Klei at the plate fouls the first pitch back to the screen, and you mentioned this game being important. Wareham doesn't play Cotuit over the next 5 games, so will be a chance to pick up some ground in the West Division against some other foes, but we'll have to rely on other teams helping the Gatemen out. 0-1, straight back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes on Klei, who is 0 for 2 in this ball game. A day off tomorrow, then a trip to Chatham before hosting YD. Those will be 2 tough games, 2 good challenges for the Gatemen before another league-wide off day on July 9th, and then the Gatemen on the road against the Commodores. The 0-2. Breaking ball popped up a mile high on the right side of the infield, falls right near Elam, but Hanley is there to save him from it and record the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
And not the day that Gordon Klei wanted to have. Was hit by a pitch back in the 4th, but 0 for 3 outside of that. And the bottom of the order not giving Wareham a ton of production past Cade Elam.
So now Jacob Burnham will go against Tony Lira, the first baseman, who's 0 for 2 with a walk in this ball game. Elam over at first. First pitch from the southpaw bounced in the dirt 4-1. It's been a diversified effort today for Wareham. Every single hitter has reached base at least once. Speaks volumes to the offensive production that feels like it's finally starting to click together for the Gatemen. They've put up 4 runs in this ball game. I've been doing a nice job at producing those figures lately. 3 straight games for them where they have put up 3 or more runs. 1-0 to Lyra, popped out of play behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, this would be a big win. Would move Wareham just 1 game out from the final spot in the West Division as of right now. And obviously there is still plenty of baseball to be played, but after the off day, it will be the final game of the first half. This game number 19 for both sides. 1-1, Lyra lunges out of the way at 2 balls and 1 strike. And if you flip over to the East Division, much more tightly contested over there. The worst team is Orleans with a 6-12 record. Every other squad is above 500. 2-1. Misses down in the dirt, 3 balls and 1 strike. And then beyond that, everyone is above 20 points with the Cape League using a point system. Chatham, Brewster, Harwich, YD, all with 9 wins or more. Any of those teams would be at least a game and a half ahead of the first place Falmouth Commodores here in the West. 3-1 is high and away for ball 4, so it's a 5-pitch walk for Tony Lyra.
That's what Wareham has to do in this 7 through 9 order. No hits between Nicolai, Lyra, and Sheffield, but if you can get on base like that, each of the 3 have gotten on base, but no hits. Nonetheless, if you reach, you're at least giving your offense a chance to work with it. Turn the lineup over. Nice job there from Lyra.
I'm surprised that Burnham's still in this game. He was knocked around, load up a 2-run home run to Jason Wax, and back-to-back-to-back hitters after that. First pitch here to Sheffield is bounced in the dirt, 4-1. There is an arm starting to get going out there in the Cotuit bullpen as we see a mound visit coming here for the Kettleers. The 1 ball, no strike count.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of the day for Burnham. It hasn't been pretty. Entered the game, it was 2-1, now 4-1, and the Gatemen already putting together another little rally here in this inning.
Talk on the mound between all of the pitching-related figures for Cotuit. That was the pitching coach, Kevin Curtin, out there. First season, he came over from Bourne. And extremely excited to be here with this staff. He's a local guy, was in attendance for Cotuit's 2019 Cape Cod Baseball League Championship, and has not been an ideal start. His staff as a whole up to a 5.17 ERA on the season. Had a little bit of a delay as Nate Ewing, the third base coach, went all the way down the left field line. He now comes back in, and we are ready to go in a 1 ball, no strike count. Elam at second, and Lyra at first to the left fielder, Noah Sheffield. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. It's 1-1. Sheffield walked to start off the 6th inning, and then was brought home by the 2-run blast from Jason Wax, who waits on deck. Set to face Burnham for a second time if Curtin and this Cotuit staff is not to come get him first. Runners started to get on the go there. Lyra was way off. Sheffield rocks a ball into left field, teetering the fair foul line. It goes foul, but Burnham was fully aware of Elam and Lyra, basically both in no man's land, didn't really react to it, and just went home.
Yeah, and they also, it was like in the moment, when the runners were off, it was as Burnham was lifting the leg and starting to get into his motion, maybe trying to force his hand and induce a balk potentially and put two in a scoring position.
They stay put on this one. 1-2, cut and a miss from Sheffield. There's the second out here in the bottom half of the 7th.
And Sheffield gave that pitch a ride to get a 2-strike count, but a little bit deflating when you're that close to a 3-run home run and then have to step back in. Now just 2 outs.
And an interesting move here. Jacob Burnham stays in to face Jason Wax for a second time after Wax had the 2-run home run off of him last inning to make this a 4-1 ball game. Plenty of damage to be done by Wax. Here's the first pitch. It misses upstairs, and Plattner seemed on a different page right there as the ball was coming in. It's 1-0.
Talk about just putting together better at bats. Wareham was just the 4th strikeout of the game up to this point. Making defenses work for it. Even though Cotuit hasn't committed an error, you're still putting pressure.
Big breaker to Wax, finds the zone for strike 1.
That was nasty right there.
It was good stuff.
Bent right into the zone.
The home run from Wax came middle away. So Burnham looking to avoid that spot, and it was on the first pitch of the at-bat. This time Wax gets one that he likes, pops it up into foul territory on the right side. Moving over to make the play is Hanley. A nice job by the first baseman to retire Wax in foul ground. And Burnham strands 2 here in the bottom half of the 7th. And after 7 innings here at Spillane Field, 2-0 in favor of the Gatemen here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
8th inning here in Wareham. Time to look elsewhere on the Cape, see what's going on. 2-2 right now between Harwich and Chatham. The Mariners have the bases loaded in the bottom half of the 9th, but a result that was important for Wareham and Cotuit earlier in the day. Brewster taking down Hyannis 6-3. The other West Division game is Bourne and Falmouth.
And another one that catches my eye is YD in Orleans, the Red Sox, who had their worst showing of the year yesterday.
Ground ball over to Cuff off the bat of Warren. Throw to first and plenty of time. 1 down here in the 8th.
But the Red Sox get right back to their winning ways after a bad outing yesterday. Pick up the 4-1 win. Brewster playing really good baseball as of late. We saw him a couple of days ago, but the Whitecaps have started to put it together. And they've honestly really impressed me. And Harwich on the verge of a potential walk-off. You said it, Dan, bottom 9, bases loaded, but nobody out. So be very tough for Chatham to escape with a win at White House Field right now.
Seems like a almost automatic win situation For the Mariners, it is now Jake Hanley at the plate. Took a first pitch strike. The 0-1 misses down in the dirt. It's been very nice work so far from Jake Schweitzer. Has thrown just 12 pitches, has retired 4 hitters so far. From the Cotuit side of things, a squad that had 2 runners left on base from the 4th to the 6th, but never cashed in and went down 1-2-3 in the 7th as the 1-1 is fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes here on the first baseman, Hanley, who's 0 for 3 in this ball game. Steps into the box as it feels like the Cotuit offense has really lost its energy in this game. It's been very flat over the last couple of innings. Schweitzer looking to take advantage of that. The 1-2 misses at the bottom part of the zone. The count's 2-2.
Schweitzer's done a really nice job. He's dialed up the right pitches at the right time, it really feels like. It hasn't been all fastball. He's worked his secondaries in there at the appropriate times and hasn't left one middle.
2-2. It runs in and no swing from Hanley as he was trying to get out of the way as Nikolai and Schweitzer were arguing that he broke the plate. He did not. New arm getting ready out there in the bullpen for Wareham. Seems to be Caleb Barnett in what would be his first pitching appearance of the season for the Gatemen.
Yeah, 2-way from Alabama. Has hit the ball a little bit.
Payoff outside from Schweitzer. First hitter that he's allowed aboard comes here in the top half of the 8th with 1 down.
One last note on the Cape League tonight, Dan. Harwich does complete the walk-off 3-2, the final. It was a walk-off walk, and the Mariners got the bases loaded and scored, and they put just 1 ball in play. A lot of self-inflicted errors on the Chatham side as they dropped to 9-8.
And a Mariners team that will visit Lowell Park and these Kettleers on Tuesday. First pitch here to Will Plattner. Strike, top of the zone. And the other team on the losing side of that, Chatham, is Wareham's next opponent. That will be on Tuesday night. First trip to Veterans Field of the season for the Gatemen. Here's the 0-1. Slap to the left side, foul. The count goes to 0-2 here on Plattner, who's 0 for 1 in this game. Also has a pair of walks. Cotuit trying to do something with its base runner and 1 down. Schweitzer shakes off a couple of signs, gets what he likes, and fires. Misses down in the dirt. Certainly would be interesting if it is to be Caleb Barnett to come into the ball game for Wareham.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not pitched so far this season, and what would be a safe situation right now.
And Wareham hasn't really had a ton of opportunities where it's just like, see what you have.
1-2, cut on and miss from Plattner. A big second out for Schweitzer. Comes by way of the strikeout, the first of his outing, and there's 2 down.
Yep, and just following up on that, it's not like Wareham has been down by a bunch or up by a bunch in a ton of games recently, so you don't know. Especially with a guy like Barnett, as a 2-way, it's either you feel like, this needs to be a pitching day for him, or this needs to be a hitting day for him. And right now, the Gatemen with a 3-run lead, it's more than what we've seen for a large part of the year, in regulation at least. Cohen and Cly had the walk-off grand slam, but it wasn't like Wareham was in control of that game despite winning by 4.
First pitch to Ryan Taransky is an ugly swing. 4 strike 1. Didn't really seem like that he wanted to go around, but broke the plate. Still with Hanley over at first after Schweitzer dealt him the free pass with 1 out. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. Schweitzer doing a nice job bouncing back after the base on balls. It's now just 1 pitch away from leaving the Gatemen with just 3 outs left to go defensively to close this one out. Takes a breath. Set on the bump. Comes home. Ball is slapped over to short. Cuff Fields on a hop and steps on second base to end off the inning. A nice play from the shortstop, and that's another 0 for this Gatemen staff. They have not allowed a run since the first. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. Last chance for the Gatemen to add some insurance with Wareham leading by 3 here on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
We take a look at some of the hits of the day as we welcome you back here to Wareham in the bottom half of the 8th. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as we get you ready to go. Adam, it's been a productive day offensively for Wareham.
Absolutely.
They have a chance to add on some more here in the bottom half of the 8th and make this not a safe situation in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, they make a pitching change as well. Wareham has totaled 8 hits. It's been productive up and down the line for the Gatemen. So a really good start today. Now a chance 3 outs away for the pitching staff. But right now it's up to the hitters to try and give Wareham a little bit more.
So it is Kyle Kipp as the Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change here in the bottom half of the 8th. Kipp, 39 innings pitched this past season with BC, so it goes eagle to eagle. Fastball, slider, and the change for him leads with the fastball.
Yeah, a guy that was an all-star on the Cape last summer for Brewster. Didn't allow a run for the Whitecaps across 17 1/3. Last pitched against Brewster on June 27th here this summer.
Facing RJ Hamilton, the 2-hole hitter, to start things out, and he slaps a ball in right field. That takes a couple of hops in front of Beaver. Hamilton swinging on the first pitch, gets a single to start things off.
And 3 hits now on the day for RJ Hamilton, all singles. And if there's anybody that you want as a leadoff guy on the base paths to try and manufacture a run to give some more padding for your pitching staff, it's RJ Hamilton. And nice shot over the second baseman's head. Down for a single, and the Gatemen with a really good chance against Kyle Kipp right now.
Wareham would certainly love that extra insurance. They've blown back-to-back leads in the 9th inning on the road as the first pitch is high and away. The last time they had a 2-run lead here at home closed out the game in the top half of the 9th against Bourne. That was a 7-5 victory, and Connor Mohan finished off the day. For Wareham, he pitched the final 4 1/3. The man headed to Wake Forest next season. Nowitzki had a double in his last at-bat. Takes a called strike. Makes the count 1-1. Wax had the 2-run home run in the 6th. Nowitzki with the double, and then the 4-6-3 double play grounded into by Connor Cuff. Stunted the rest of the momentum. 1-1. Fouled off behind the plate. Count goes to 1-2. This would be a big one for Wareham. It would give them wins in 2 of their previous 3 games, something that the Gatemen have not done this season. We're searching for back-to-back wins yesterday, but blew it in the 9th. Trying to avoid that here tonight, and getting an extra run certainly would help out that cause. Hamilton thought about going for a second, hopped off at first. Nowitzki puts the pitch foul. It seemed like a last-second swing there from Nowitzki with 2 strikes on him. Just looking to protect, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
It's exactly what you need to do. If you're Nate Nowitzki, a guy that already has a couple of hits today, and seeing a new arm for the first time, foul off a couple of pitches, stay alive in the count, get one that you like.
1-2, weak grounder over to Warren. He tried to tag out Hamilton, does not. Throws to first, gets Nowitzki. So Hamilton over to second on the play, and there's one down, a very productive first out.
Yeah, good speed from Hamilton, trying to evade the tag right there. Ooh! Gets out of the way, and Warren couldn't get it. Throws on to first to at least get one out. Nowitzki tried to beat it out, but Wareham with one in scoring position.
Nowitzki barking a little bit from the dugout. Ryan Smythe now talking to the umpiring crew. Everyone seeming a little bit on edge here, as also the Cotuit manager out of the first base dugout.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious what the appeal is. Was R.J. Hamilton out of the baseline? Warren was there, tried to apply the tag. I don't think Hamilton really took too much of a detour whatsoever. But if you're Cotuit, you probably make the argument at this point in the game.
Why not try and get that call overturned? Levi Clark set to come to the plate, as it's looking like Caleb Barnett out there walking around. Could be another arm too. Still plenty of time here in this bottom of the 8th. Or it also still could be Schweitzer, who has looked really good through his first 2 innings.
And after that last inning, why would it not be? Looks really good right now for Wareham. We saw yesterday Andrew Koshy trying to get stretched into the 9th. I understand the recency of it, but when a guy's in a groove like that, throwing that well, I think you probably stick with him.
And Cotuit's still not happy about this. Still arguing with home plate umpire Mike Griffin.
That's the manager, Rob Cooper, out. Continuing to give Mike Griffin an earful.
And on the replay, he was still in the baseline there.
I mean, yeah.
Does not touch the infield grass, and Griffin telling him to stop. An ejection is looming here for Cooper as he's warned back to the dugout. Tensions seeming to calm now.
Yeah, and listen, Hamilton, he moved his body, but he didn't get out of the baseline whatsoever. So
I don't think it was a noticeable jump out of the line there at first and second.
No, not at all.
So it will be Levi Clark now, runner into scoring position. 1 out, bottom half of the 8th. Kip ready after a long pause between batters. First pitch is tasered out into right field. Chasing it is Beaver. He can't make the play. It goes past him, 2 hops to the wall. Hamilton hits third. He's coming home. Clark is chugging for third base. He's going to be in there without a throw standing. It's an RBI triple for Levi Clark. That's the first triple of the season for the Gatemen, and it's 5-1.
Great piece of hitting from Levi Clark, a diving effort from Landon Beaver. Didn't work out so well, did it, Dan? Hamilton stays put at second for a moment, but then right there, the diving effort goes all the way to the wall. And Clark, not necessarily known for his speed, but got on his horse right there. Moved all the way around, easily in, no throw.
So Wareham has the insurance that it was looking for and a chance to still tack on more. A runner at third, Connor Cuff at the plate. First pitch from Kip in there for strike 1. Both Wareham and Cotuit did not have a triple heading into today. The only teams left to not have one, and now both do. For Cotuit, it was Dawson Park to start the game, and Levi Clark for the Gatemen. Second RBI of the day for him as well. 0-1 is spiked in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Clark with the RBI single in the first. There's the RBI triple. Gatemen at 2-10 in scoring position. Doesn't tell you the entire story. The offense has been helping itself out a lot tonight. 1-1 once again misses down low, and Plattner's forced to his knees. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Now what a turn here for Wareham. Playing 2 arms in Burnham, and now his teammate Kip at BC, and Wareham has been very good from the 5th inning on, and Dan, yesterday that was when things really started to go downhill for the Gatemen.
Certainly. After the 5th inning, Bourne kind of took control of the ball game. Plated the first run in the 6th, 1 in the 7th to make it 3-2, and then 2 in the 9th to win 4-3. 2-1 in there for strike 2. Wareham would certainly love to cash in an extra run here. Make this a 5-run ball game and really put this game out of reach. 2-2 from Kip. Hit foul by the on-deck circle. Nearly caught a piece with Cade Elam right there as he was pacing around the circle.
Yeah. Taking out your own teammate in the 8th inning. Guess on the bright side, they've got an off day tomorrow.
You don't want to head into the off day with anyone banged up if possible. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Weak ground ball over to the third baseman, Moran. He throws to first. It's in time. The runner is stranded at third, so now 2 outs for Cotuit to work with here in the bottom half of the 8th.
That's a tough one in a 5-1 game. I understand why you don't send him. Seemed like if Clark got a better jump, maybe could have scored with how high of a chopper it was by the time it got to Moran. If he would have taken off instantly, but you certainly get why. But now Cade Elam steps in after back-to-back singles.
Elam has really been doing a nice job of swinging the bat lately for the Gatemen. Looking to knock in an extra run here. 3 straight games for him now where he has gone 2 for 4. Looking for 3 for 5, but Kip finds the zone for strike 1. Wareham 3 outs away from a win. Be the first against the Kettleers this season. High chopper over to third. Once again, Moran takes a couple of steps. Laser across the field. Gets the 3rd out of this bottom half of the 8th. 3 outs to go here in Wareham. Jake Schweitzer coming out, looking to give Wareham its 2nd win in 3 days. Find out if the Gatemen can get it on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Welcome you back here to Spillane Field in the top half of the ninth. Jake Schweitzer out to try and close out this game. Just a reminder, this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. Adam, same type of scenario last night. Obviously, Wareham had a couple of extra runs in this game, but it was Andrew Koshy yesterday looking for a 9-out save. Jake Schweitzer trying to do the same here tonight.
Yeah, and listen, he's been very good, and for Koshy, his pitch count was a little bit higher. Schweitzer enters the ninth with just 24 pitches thrown. He's gone 3 innings before, and in those times, he's gotten better as his day's gone on, trying to do the same here today. It's different, though, being in the ninth inning. But got an extra run from his offense in the eighth.
It'll be 7-8-9 for the Kettleers as they look to mount the comeback. Trailing by 4. Starts with Jesse DiMaggio, who had a single back in the sixth. First pitch, cut and a miss for strike one. Wareham also has 2 arms warming up in the bullpen. Kind of a break if emergency, but of course, the Gatemen hoping that it doesn't get there. Would be back-to-back wins for them at home if they are to pull off the victory here. A 1. This is 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, something they haven't done this year, Dan, so trying to pick it up. Kind of an off day tomorrow, but it's July. And yes, they lost yesterday, but I feel like this team is putting together much better at-bats and getting better starts.
1-1 punched into right field. That ball is going to just tail foul. A lucky break for Jake Schweitzer. The count goes to 1-2.
That's a tough one. Gives it a ride. But if you're Schweitzer, can't worry about it. Even though, yes, he's sitting about 300 feet down the line, you're ahead in the count 1-2. You've liked the outside corner of the zone so far in this battle. Maybe try and give him something in at the hands, throw him off.
Schweitzer loves to overpower hitters with the fastball. Comes set at the belt. Delivers. The pitch runs inside. It just misses on the corner. 2-2 count to DiMaggio. 2 for 4 in his last start against Chatham 3 games ago. Single back in the 6th. 2-2 offering. Smacked into left field. That ball is down. It gets past Sheffield. Hitting first and going over to second is DiMaggio. It's a stand-up double to start off the top half of the ninth.
And DiMaggio, not much success against the starter Ethan Baiotto, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But since Wareham went to its bullpen, DiMaggio 2 for 2, single his last time up, and then a leadoff double this time around.
Starts to feel eerily similar here for Wareham. It was the bottom of the order last night, too, for Bourne that shifted it around to the top. Eventually won them the game. J.J. Moran, the third baseman, looks to keep the line moving. Schweitzer misses high and away. 4-1. Over at second base is DiMaggio. Schweitzer set. Trying to battle here in this ninth. This one's hit over to the third base side and through. Over to third is DiMaggio. He gets the wave. He's going to come in to score without a throw. Over to second on the play is Moran. Back-to-back stand-up doubles for the Kettleers here in the top half of the ninth, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
And this is when you want to accelerate the warm-ups down the line for Caleb Barnett and Finn Edwards in the ninth inning. And listen, it was kind of similar yesterday when Jake Schweitzer was in the dugout for that long and Wareham has an inning offensively that takes an extended period of time. You lose some of the momentum that you had right now. Seems like Schweitzer has lost some of that.
Now it's Chase Kroberger, the 9-hole hitter. 0 for 2 with the walk in this game. A runner at second. Here's the first pitch. Hit to the right side, out of play. Seems like these Cotuit hitters have found some of their confidence. First run of the game for them since the first inning, and that came within the first 2 batters, both of which are set to come up in this inning if they are to send the next 2 hitters to the plate. 0-1 in there, 4 strike 2. Schweitzer refocusing, now has a pitcher's count. Trying to get the first out of this 9th, an inch closer to closing out this game. He's worked himself now into a save situation. 33 pitches tossed. 0-2. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. There's the first out here in the top half of the 9th.
You have to flush it if you're Jake Schweitzer. He does it right there, inside corner. Excellently placed off the hand of Jake Schweitzer. Yeah, you give up back-to-back doubles, Dan, but you've still got a 3-run lead, and all you have to get is 3 outs. Now it's down to 2. It's top of the order, due up for Cotuit. You've seen it, and you've retired these 2 guys, Dawson Park and Landon Beaver, already today if you're Schweitzer.
It was a ground out to third on Park the first time around. The first pitch this time is piped into center field. Hamilton goes back. He's near the wall. He makes the play at the wall. Tagging over to third is Moran. 2 outs, but if that ball was hit to any other part of the park, it would have been out. That was to the deepest part, 400.
Yeah, absolutely. And a similar sentiment now as what I just said 30 seconds ago. Flush it. Yeah, you gave up back-to-back doubles. Yeah, you gave up a hit and some contact that went nearly 400, but you're also 1 out away from getting this win for Wareham. So right now you got to battle, pitch to contact, trust your defense behind you in a 5-2 game.
The Gatemen searching for back-to-back wins here at home for the first time this season. Landon Beaver ready. Here's the first pitch. In there, 4 strike 1. Wareham had 2 outs on the board yesterday, leading by 1 before allowing 2 runs and losing the game in the bottom half of the 9th. Of course, Schweitzer looking to avoid that here. He's up 0-1. Here's the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Cuff, Fields, throws to first in time. And the ball game is over. Jake Schweitzer comes in the 7th, works the 9-out save, navigates around a run in the 9th inning, and the Gatemen have back-to-back wins here at home for the first time this season. Wareham gets the job done 5-2 over Cotuit.
Yeah, and the Kettleers continue to sputter as of late, but a big-time win after Wareham let one slip yesterday. Get back in the win column today. Another really complete effort, similar to the one we saw back on July 3rd. They do so again today. Feel like a good 27-out showing from the Gatemen this evening.
Put it all together, and it delivers them a 5-2 victory here at home over Cotuit. They have started this month of July on a strong note. They are 2-2 after a putrid start in June that had them at 3-12. It was Cotuit getting on the board early, but then Wareham worked all the way back, scored 5 unanswered before the Kettleers put up 1 in the top half of the 9th. And after blowing the game in the 9th inning yesterday, Jake Schweitzer comes in and gets the job done. Just 1 run given up across 3 different relievers for the Gatemen in this game. A few thank yous to hand out as we wrap up tonight's coverage. To our executive producer, Jocelyn Mejia, to the 3rd member of our crew, our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel, my partner, Adam Hipsky, Dan Shalam,